That gets us live then. While everybody getting connected in. And Ruckus is going to be joining us a little late, but it's all right because you guys are in kind of RP mode pre next adventure, figuring out what the hell you're going to do. And we've got a wedding. Already starting out. Didn't even get a minute into the stream and already starting. You notice that?
What?
Wonder who's the lucky couple.
You notice it's crickets on his end.
Yeah.
Oh.
What did I miss?
All right. Looks like everybody. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody's in the stream. Everybody's in Discord. All right. Well, let's just get started with our Thursday night D&D with the Deadbeats. Playing Out of the Abyss. They're out. They escaped. They're breathing fresh air.
You're making it sound like it's not going to last that long.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I would not want to foreshadow. But anyway, yeah. So we're all here
to that pit.
Yeah. Waiting for Ruckus, but we'll sojourn on without him until he drops in. California boy. Is it L.A.? Did he say? I can't remember. Where was it? L.A. Was it? I don't remember where he said he lives.
I forget. I think it's up north.
Yeah, maybe it is. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. So let's do introductions as always and recap real quick of what's happening with the group, and then proceed onward. Hondo, you're up first.
I'm Hondo Bazumek, Mountain Dwarf and loyal cleric of Dumathon.
Varus.
I'm Varus, the Febrile Druid, protector of the forest and master of disguise.
Daedalus.
Daedalus Driftwood, rock gnome wizard, thrower of the fireball.
And Banjo.
I'm Banjo Kazooie, a bugbear swashbuckling rogue, and I like to do it from the behind with the jabby jabby.
Nicely put. We'll have to keep that. That's the new one. Yes, and missing is our always grumpy, always purring Ruckus, the barbarian dwarf werepanther. Meow. Who is running late, but he'll hop in here as soon as he gets home. You hosted me and no alert. Well, I bet it does. I don't know, Baboon. Maybe I got you blocked. Maybe that's a good thing. Let's take a look. See if it is hosting. Yeah, since he's gonna give me grief if I don't check this out. FG alert overlay. Let's take a look. And if I go over here and say host. Well, I heard that, but I didn't see it though. That's interesting. Definitely heard it. Huh. And probably something up with stream elements. Wonderful. Because that did fire off in my head. All right, well, we'll wait here a second and check it here in a moment. Let's get started with our recap. They made their way out. We're making their way out of the Underdark, and finally were met up with their drow pursuit from the original stockades that they where they found themselves prisoners, and dispatched the evil drow priestess and some of her minions as she was double betrayed by her second in commands, and then fought what was the name of Yokolokal, whatever, that was there, summoned.
Do you call that fight? Is that what we did?
It was a fight, wasn't it? Or why wasn't it a fight?
I
Some
will
of it-
say watches.
Some of us fought.
Ruckus fought.
Some of us ran away.
No.
Some of us just tried to assassinate the NPCs.
What is it? Oh, sorry, Baboon. Say, do you have room? Oh, no, but hey, Boom, I wish I did. No, I've got 5 players for tomorrow night. I apologize. Yeah. The original 5 there was a 5-player game. 4 of them are returning, and Skeeter Green was one of the other players. And I've got Jack, who's playing tonight, is going to take his spot tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central as we play episode 2 of the Ear of Fear campaign. What is it? Betrayal and Daedalus, or something like I can't remember. It's test play of some module work that we've been working on. Anyway, so yes, they made their way. They killed the Drow. Then found out the real purpose of one of their NPCs. Oh hell, what was his name? Jim Jar was actually some type of higher entity of holiness, godlikeness, who had been studying and trying to determine what the hell was been going on down in the Underdark, and fell in with this group of rabble rousers, and then got them through interference with them with the local, and told them get the hell out and get to the top side and get more information, because this evil that is spreading, this demonic evil that is spreading in the Underdark, will soon make its way to the surface. And if that happens, all is lost. No one will be safe as the demons begin to take over the overlight instead of the Underdark. So they made their way out of the mountains here. Let's see, we've got this map, and sending it to everybody. Y'all came out of the mountains in here, and we're going to be making your way to the establishment, or what you believe is a hamlet of Long Saddle. Try to get your bearings. Eldith is with the group, dragging the Hondo and the rest of the party toward Gauntlegrim, her home, because she is ready to be home, and has asked him to help her get there, and then proceed from there, that they would be welcomed with open arms and could get rest, relaxation, and decide from there what is their next course of action. So, any questions, gents? Any comments? Any changes in plans, or what would you like? Does that sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yes. You didn't say anything about the wedding of Hondo.
No, it's not yet, man. It's anticipation.
Not happening.
So they make their way. Yes, y'all make your way out of the mountains, or getting your bearings and all that, which is not too quick, not too hard, with Eldith and the dwarves understanding kind of where they're at, and being of the mountainous type race. And as y'all make your way and talk about Long Saddle, Daedalus, you actually begin to recollect that even though that you don't know much about Long Saddle, you do know that a great house of wizards known as the Harples founded this town and are very much in charge of this area. They're a jovial group, but they don't, pity the fools and all like that. And they have, from time to time,
Wait, they don't pity the fools?
They don't pity the fools. They don't put up with a lot of, they're fun and all that, but they are definitely not that would put up with too much in the way of.
Why, Harpos is my middle name.
So, yeah, they keep to their own. And you remember that they are somewhat little bizarre in some of the rumors or stories that you have heard from them from time to time. That they have inadvertently, done a few experiments that have gone south on them, or sideways more than likely, a few broken bones, shattered limb, they would actually probably get a kick out of Varus because knowing that he's, his, we won't say inabilities, but his misfires on his magic sometimes, that the Harples are known to do that, and that they have, one of the big rumors is that they turned a family that was kind of upset with them into some rabbits and such. But if you don't mess with them, they don't mess with you. And but they definitely are in charge of this area, and they're fairly well known also. But then, trying to get more information about Longside, Eldith will let you know it's more of a hamlet than anything else. It's a couple of row of buildings that straddle the Long Road, which is the main thoroughfare that stretches north to south through the northern parts of the Sword Coast all the way down through the Desserin Valley and on down into, and makes its way toward the great city of Waterdeep. And that you get there is a well-known inn called the Gilded Horseshoe that you'll want to make your way to, because they are well known because of the fine food and drink that they serve, comfortable beds that they have, and they have they're known for their exquisite roast and stews, because this town is Longside is mainly geared toward ranching, and it won't take long before y'all come out of the mountains that you'll start catching the lovely wafting scents of manure and cattle and horse and all that such.
Hey, that's fresh air compared to down there.
Pretty much. Yep.
We're able to get horses and get the heck out of this place.
I steak and beer and horses. Yeah.
Yep. And then there's there is the Gilded Horseshoe, and then there is the inn. That's the main inn, but then there is basically the Gambling Golem, which is the local entertainment center where lots of card and dice games take place. And then the rest of the shops mainly focus on dried goods, candles, various assortments and stuff like that. Nothing of major consequence in the way of supplies, magical items, stuff like that. The area is rumored to have magical caches. People come in and out like prospectors, thinking that because of the Harples and their eccentric ways that maybe they'll find, hidden caches of magic items stored somewhere and all that, but that almost never happens. And you
heard the DS almost never happens.
Yeah, almost never happens. But the groups like to have fun with those who do come through here from time to time, because the Harples, sometimes their magic will just go a little sideways, and often throughout the day there are explosions or lightning crackles and things like that will go off near their mansion, knowing that that's probably someone experimenting or someone who probably came close to death in something that went wrong. But other than that, that's about it. And so y'all can make your way to the Gilded Horseshoe if you would like, unless you're going to tell me you're going to change something else.
Well, Gilded Horseshoe, and then I'm going to probably look up some of the mages.
You would have to go to their mansion. They don't particularly. They, like I said, they created the town and keep security over the area and all that, but they pretty much, the family stays to themselves. And the town folk will tell you that they keep to their own, and unless they're really something of importance that you need, that bide your time resting here and be on your, take care, get on your merry way and stuff like that. But they, you could try to go speak with them, but most people don't. They keep to themselves because they're always concerned for their safety when they get near the house in case something goes wrong with the magic experiment. So, but it's up to you. But y'all can make your way to the inn if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm up for the inn.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Gilded Horseshoe it is, boys.
All right. Well, you make your way.
Okay, I go to the inn, but I want to know who's playing.
I don't know. Who's paying? Is that what you just asked me?
Yeah.
They said you. That who asks first always pays.
That's
That
true.
doesn't seem right.
No, that's a
Should we put it to a
long-standing
vote?
tradition.
Should we put it to
Everything's
vote?
on me,
Yeah.
boys.
There you go. Varus pays. Check marks is a yes. Well, there you go. It's 4-1.
Somehow that doesn't seem fair.
All right, then they thank you, Varus, and they take all your gold. They thank you very much. They give you they give you the best rooms in the inn. I mean, tell you what,
Spare no expense.
that's exactly right. Varus is now a pauper. Now, anyway, so you can they'll give you some. They will give you some nice, clean, fresh rooms. You can get cleaned up. The food is wonderful. Like I said, some of the stews and roasts that they have, or yum 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 nom nom noms. The dwarves, I'm pretty certain, would destroy any and all. I'm not sure what bugbears eat or furbolgs, but if you're a meat eater, then you will be exquisitely happy. And you can have some and some lovely drink. Yeah, I mean, the question is, what do y'all want to accomplish? So you're here, other than Eldith is just very antsy to want to take the trip across the countryside to Gauntlet Grim, which is just exactly due west from where y'all are at.
Well, what about local rumors about anything coming out of the Underdark?
You don't pick up anything or notice in from the conversations that you see in the inn, or if you decide to make your way down to the entertainment hub to do some gambling or just relaxation. Nothing seems to have brokered any of the peace around here or peace and quiet, other than they still talk about issues that happened in the Desserin Valley, which were related to the elemental cultist and their bid for power and all that's been cleared up. And trades have begun to come up and down the long road and through the area, and farming's gotten better. Definitely the ranchers have begun to pick up and see better growth in their business from their breeding and all that, and trades being seems to be picking up fairly well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not feeling, so they really don't have any effects of what was going on in the Underdark.
Yeah. You just happen to you just definitely can know that there's magic, but you don't seem to feel any taint, I should say, to the magic like you definitely felt down below. That y'all have Ruckus, are you in? Oh, what do you know? No, it's just the overland map. Ruckus is here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Here, let me get rid of my bot. Okay. Yep.
Bot.
Ruckus bot is gone. So that's you don't hear anything like that. Pick up anything, What else?
Well, I think maybe we should warn the wizards about what was going on down in the Underdark. About how the magic's tainted. I think they might want to maybe experiment with that.
Okay. What about the rest of y'all? Any?
How far from the Long Saddle was the cave that we came out of?
Oh, somewhere in the middle of the mountain areas here. Let's just,
I mean, it was like a day journey.
Not even that. Yeah. Say it took you a day or so to get out of the mountain and then down across that way.
Yeah, because people might be coming out looking for us, so I think we should definitely give a heads up to at least the people that are protecting the town.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And how far from Long Saddle is Gauntlgrim?
Straight across your due west, you're probably looking at got through the hills there in maybe a week's time.
I say we make our way south down to Waterdeep and then head back up north. I think that's the way to go.
To go to Gauntlgrim.
What? I'm looking at what the hell are you talking about? Go down to what you want. It's up to you guys, y'all. You know,
6 month journey.
Mm-hmm. Great,
Okay.
thanks a lot. Yeah.
No, I want to warn the wizards. I want to at least, let them know about the tainted magic and that we just escaped from the Underdark, and just to give them a heads up that we think everything's okay, but if anybody follows us, that they should be prepared.
Yeah.
And maybe even let them know where the entrance is so they can blow it up if they wanted to.
And we could use a few more minions because we lost most of ours.
Yeah. Yeah, can we get
through
an
no
extra
fault of our own?
Can we get an extra half dozen minions to come with us so we can set them aside every 2 seconds?
You won't find anything like that here in Long Saddle. And Eldest Hospital, well, if you need minions you want to recoup and really do, then we need to get to my home, the great city of Gauntlgrim. That's really what you want to do. Yeah.
Before we do that, though, we're going to warn the area.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. You can go to the wizards off the beaten path about halfway. You got to go down a little. You got to actually move south a little bit from Long Saddle. There is a path, that leaves the road and it winds to what's called, they'll tell you, it's the Ivory Mansion, which is the great house of the Harple family. If that's where you really want to go, then they will tell you to head down that way, and you can speak with the wizards. Depending on who, they'll never know. It couldn't tell you who is going to be there from the families because they're always out and about, and some are home, some are studying, some are experimenting. Well,
even if we tell one of their loyal henchmen, anybody there, it seems like they kind of run, protect the town. So I just want to give them a heads up about what happened. Like I said,
you could just write a note and send a runner.
I could,
the townspeople, even there's not even really there's not really a government here. This is just a little hamlet, and they can tell you that if you feel free to do that, or you can sooner or later
this might be the
family
first. This might be the first line of defense against the underdog.
Doubt that, but it's up to you. Certainly, you can head down there, or you can tell the the local.
I want to head that
sheriff.
way. Mm-hmm. Being a wizard of my own, I'd like to head that way. Just
okay.
From one wizard to another, I want to warn them.
Okay, then you can head that way, and you will find the road, and you will find the off-beaten path, and you can follow it, and it's just a couple hours back up into the hills that are awfully to the west, and you will then discover, and you will see a fairly good-sized mansion in fairly good condition, even though you can tell that it's different colors. There are certain sections of it that look like maybe they've been blasted out and then fixed appropriately. You can see scorch marks around certain areas. Some trees like that maybe are growing back up at funny, and off to the sides, and their growth patterns are weird and all that. And You know, you definitely can see the effects of magic and all that in here, and you can smell it too. There's no doubt about that. And
I'll be cautious as I'm giving them this heads up.
well, you'll be met at, you know, when y'all kind of make your way into the courtyard area, looking around, and you'll, you know, one of the, it's elf wizard, you know, middle-aged elf, which is probably in the hundreds or so, will come out, introduce himself as Raywan Harple, and inquisitively ask what brings you to their front door.
Dirtless Driftwood, and I'll shake his hand.
He reaches down and shakes it.
And then I will proceed to tell him, you know, we just had a very long journey. I don't know if you know it, but up in the hills over there, there's actually an entryway into the Underdark. And then I'll proceed to tell him about how the magic is tainted and we were chased and we don't think anybody's following us, but we want to give them a warning just in case. You give them a heads up to maybe look for any intruders that might be in the area. And
well, interesting. They will, he will thank you for that. They have, from time to time have to deal with vermin that comes out, out of the mountains and all that. And that maybe explains why they have, seen a few other, normally they'll deal with the orc raiders, and from time to time they've had an appearance of a lycanthrope or two will come in the area, and they've had to put those down. They've had a few raids on some of the ranchers have had to deal with. And, then when you mentioned Dro, that they have seen it from time to time, a few that will come out, but it's very rare. And they have a few warning, sensors up in the area. But, if they, given, he can bring out a map and you can give them a general vicinity of where this cave is that you came out of, so they can go, they will send some group up there and try to ward it off, or at least put some type of beacon on it that can monitor that. As far as the demonic and all that, he's you get the impression that he's a little skeptical about what you're talking about. He doesn't, it doesn't outright, not believe you, but that he, the family such as theirs would, how could they not understand or miss something like that? Their great family would always know something like that.
And have they experienced anything odd with the magic fluctuations in the area? Well,
you knowing their background and seeing what you're seeing around you, to them, that's not too hard to guess that, they wouldn't know for certain whether that was being affected or not, because of what the experiments and the things that they do and the misfires that they have. This wouldn't be a good barometer to be able to make that test.
I feel like I gave them a warning, and I feel good about that. At least, if something happens to the town, I did my part. So I'm fine with spending the night in Long Saddle and then heading out.
Nope. And he thanks you for it, and he will make it a mention to the rest of the family members, and they will take appropriate actions and alert some of the other tribes and other groups to the south, and wishes you well on your journeys.
To a wedding.
Oh, lucky couple? Are they here? We'll send a gift. Yeah. What's up, Schmazing? Thanks for the sub, man. Return the favor. I do appreciate it. And then people check out Schmazing DM on Twitch. They stream 3 or 4 nights a week on your channel, man. I think, if I remember your schedule. But appreciate you dropping.
Is there a way you can do like a roll, some kind of roll system in the store where it's like people can buy consummation between Hondo and Eldith, and then like everyone's if like on a percentile number she gets knocked
pregnancy.
We can have little Hondos around, sure. We can have all that going on. Listen to him. He doesn't even want to go there right now. Sorry, Schmace. Yes, yeah, varied groups of DMs. Yeah, they're doing the same. We've actually got a Savage World campaign starting up Wednesday nights, and then I'm going to be doing a Deadlands soon. We're going to have several different campaigns going. Yeah, well, actually, I'm going to be making some changes to the store. Actually, come this fall into the holidays, we're going to be doing some subscription-only items and change the way the Praetors are used, and give some more perks to those who sub for store items over those who watch. But then also when cheers are done, like some Asian and a lot of the other groups are doing, which I've just been slow to implementing, being able to, when you cheer, have things happen also. But we'll also have
the ability to remove disease. So
yeah, remove curse on Ruckus, right? So, but all right. So you have alerted the Harples family, and Derlish, you get their respect. You can tell that he, you know, one wizard to another wizard. Even though you get the feeling that they're funny and all that, but they definitely have a little bit more of a higher opinion of themselves, you know, because, you know, you have heard stories about them and all that, and seeing now they're complex and all that. There's some of that stuff is true, is that they are a little on the eccentric side. So, but now you head back to Long Saddle, and unless someone's going to, you know, appease Eldith, the job is to get her home. Unless you have something else that you want to try to do.
Hondo?
Yeah, I want to leave her in a bog somewhere, but then I'd have to carry her shield and hammer.
No, you don't. You enjoy your time with her, and you know it. Anyway, so are we gonna head to the city? We're gonna head to the dwarven city of Gauntlegrim.
Well,
Yes.
do you guys want to head straight there, or do you want to stop at that other landmark, Morgor's Mound? That sounds like an interesting place.
I have no idea what it is. It's not on your map. Yeah, you're listening. He's stalling. He is so stalling.
Let's get her home. Let's be done with her.
We're heading. In the morning, are we buying horses, everybody?
Yeah, if we can afford it.
I want a pony.
Yeah, you
How much is a horse?
You jackass. They're in the party. They're in the what y'all's inventory?
Are they in the store?
Actually, here. You know what? There's more. Y'all have more freaking gold than you know what to do with. Okay. Plus all this stuff you need to sell somewhere.
how far away are we from that town in Fandelver? Probably pretty far, right?
Yeah, you got it. Look, if you get your map out, you're going to, so Fandelver is here. Let's go south from Longsaddle to Tribor, and then you go west. That basically, there's a path, the Tribor Trail goes west through that. Basically, you see the grasslands between the mountains and the forest, and Fandelver is going to be roughly somewhere in here, I think.
Yeah, because it was south of.
Because it was you came off the trail, and then it was down like through here on this map. So that's about where y'all are. That's where Fandelver's at. A good week's travel. So you're not far from it, but you feel and as dwarves, y'all know that Gauntlegrim is a, you know, pretty impressive dwarven city.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to go to Gauntlegrim, but I really do need to check on my business in Fandelver, because I left my blacksmith business with my my extended family, who were going to run it for me until I got back. But I guess I can send a messenger to him, let him know that I've reached the surface again.
You sure can.
Okay, and I also need to, this is out of character, but I also need to find somebody to patent the Pelota Ball game.
Ball.
Yeah, ball game.
Ball.
You're not sure if that truly happened or if that was just a bad dream.
Oh, it happened.
Pelota Ball. We've got balls for days.
Yeah. It happened because we won.
Their favorite module of all, folks. The Lost Mines, the Lost City of Tomoe-chan. They want to go back so badly. So we're gonna head. The group's gonna head toward Gauntlet Grim. You're going to head toward the subterranean city of Gauntlet Grim.
I had enough with subterranean cities, by the way.
Yeah, well, its cavernous halls are large enough to contain entire surface villages, and they are, you.
Oh, cool.
You want to go there? Yeah.
I would like at least a few days on the surface before heading back underground.
Oh, you're gonna have a week. You're gonna have about a week of overland travel to get from Long Saddle to Gauntlet Grim.
I have a question. How long does it take to get to Fandover by flying?
I don't know.
Depends on how fast you fly.
Y'all feel the impression of Jim Jars heavy upon you that you need to get to Gauntlet Grim. No diddle-dallying around.
Hey, Duff, I left my wallet in the Small Teeth at the very southern part of the map.
You did what now?
Left my wallet there.
Okay. Going the southern part. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Funny. Yeah, The group is stalling, folks. So.
Wait,
it's a valid question. I'm just asking.
I don't know. It's flying over the mountains and range and all that. It's still going to be a good travel time, but probably.
Are you saying we search for some griffins?
4 or 5 days. I don't know.
No, I'm going to turn myself into a giant eagle and just go get whatever we need from Fandover.
And come back and.
The news that Ruckus lost his business.
Oh, Ruckus is the cornerstone of that business. I'm not worried. And plus, my family's loyal.
Ruckus is just the name on them.
Yeah. I mean, I've still got the deed to the business on me, so I haven't been gone that long.
I can go for you and get some money for you.
Man, I've got so much money right now. I'm not sweating it.
Well, in that, and that that you think you should probably Gauntlet Grim will provide you. Their mines provide you with endless tides of iron, silver, gold, all of the type of precious metals. And what would that do to have a supply of that coming out of that toward your business in Fandover? And
I like it.
You should probably head over there to broker.
I'm definitely down to do that. But what I was thinking is, before we leave, these guys are pretty notorious, or mages or spellcasters. Maybe we can get. Can we get any kind of magical items made while we're here, or do they have any that they're willing to part with?
No, they basically are. They experiment, dilly-dally around with magical spells, and trying to find new ways to, do magical.
Yeah, that's the first thing Duff said when we got here. Is they don't have any magic.
No. Yeah, Long Saddle's just a hamlet, and this family kind of rules this little area. They created the town. It's more of a ranching society. They are experimenters and wizards that keep a tight knit family. And they do watch over this area, but they're not something that interact a lot with the populace or have trade and stuff like that. Not at all.
Have they any experiments with any kind of instant teleportation or extra dimensional travel that could get us to Gauntlet Grim quicker?
They don't broker any of that subject with you. They're. I
guess we'll just walk like.
Yep. You got horses. You got ranchers here. You can get horses. That's easy. In the hamlet. Oh yeah.
They'll talk to us about horses, but not their profession.
No, you're misrepresenting what's going on there, Ruckus. The wizards don't live in the town. They're south. They have their own mansion area where they do all their work. Long Saddle was founded by them, but it's run on its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to go.
But you may buy yourself some horses if you'd like. You can open up the, I guess basically what's the handbook going to say? Equipment, mounts. Y'all can deduct that from your, depending on what kind you want. Riding horse, donkey or mule for dirt. You got 75 gold. You need some draft horses to carry some of your loot.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all just got to determine how much the cost is and honestly deduct it from your.
I think we need some war horses.
Dwarves on war horses.
I like the elephant, but I know they don't have that. So.
Yeah, they just got horses here and donkeys.
If it's a war horse, they can charge the horse. The two dwarves.
Do they have a coach?
Yeah, we could get a. Could we get a wagon here?
Yeah, oh yeah, most definitely you can find some wagons here. Yep. Dry goods, candles, lanterns, saddle rope, wagon wheels, some number shops. Some, the wagons may not be of best quality because most people come in and out of here. The ranchers, are raising the livestock that they move it south. You'll know that Tribor and Yartar, which are in the Desrin Valley area where a lot of the trade is taking place of the cattle and the goods. You're going to have to truly go toward the Sword Coast west to get to the bigger cities to find more of the stuff that you're looking, the sales of what you have and, looking to find other items if they're possibly available to you. But this nagging issues in you, it continues to pull you that you need to stop dilly-dallying around and get to Gauntlet Grim so you can figure out what the hell's going on with the evil underground.
Pretty sure we've been here for like 6 hours. Right?
No, you spent a day. Spent a day already in Solid Long Saddle. Y'all came out, took you a day.
I don't know
to get
how
there.
fast the above ground days go.
Take it out of the.
I'm an underground creature.
Take it out of the mutual funds there, Banjo.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do.
Let's get the chariot. Yes.
What?
All right.
They have a carriage for 100 gold.
You got mounts, you bobo heads.
No.
What the hell are y'all doing?
Wagon for 35. I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a
I
riding
wouldn't
horse.
mind a carriage ride.
A week-long carriage ride.
You get to ride a pony.
You get
It's either a pony
mounts,
or a carriage ride.
you get a wagon,
or a
you
mastiff.
get saddles, and you need to get your bit and bridles, some saddlebag, all that stuff. Put that all together, or I'll go in and deduct it from all of y'all.
No, I got it. I'm doing my own.
Ruckus or Banjo's right, or no, Ruckus is right. I'm gonna get the war mastiff.
They have one.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's awesome.
Would you get your damn mule and set your ass on it? Okay.
Bit and bridle. Sorry, I'm counting out the gold pieces right now.
It's amazing. Do you have to put up with this with your players? Do they bust your balls like they're busting mine? Because we're about to have a huge shotgun wedding. If they don't get a hold of this real quick, man, they're all about to get their asses married. Okay.
Are we doing a cart or a wagon? I think a wagon.
How many horses does it take to pull a wagon?
Okay.
At least one, right?
One.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's right. They're having fun with this. It's very rare that they get to bust my balls, so I'm letting them do it tonight. So.
All right, I just bought a mastiff.
Because I had to railroad them last week to get them the hell out of the Underdark. So I'm paying the price now for it. I know what this is all about.
Last week?
Trust me.
I'm subtracting 25 gold pieces. So now
What did you buy?
A mastiff.
A big old dog?
He's riding a dog. I don't ask. Okay. That's what he wants. That's what he's gonna get.
We're calling him a war mastiff.
All right, I'm throwing in 5 for the wagon. 35. So. Damn.
How much is a wagon?
35.
All right. Well, if there's a horse that's going to pull the wagon, I'd rather just ride in the wagon.
Yeah.
That's 50.
A draft horse is 50.
What's the speed on a draft horse?
I think it's the same as
What's the question?
Just the speed. I don't.
It's only 40 feet. A riding horse is 60 feet.
Yeah, but that's if you're in combat and all that. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. But I think a draft horse can carry more, can it?
Hey, Banjo,
Yeah,
did you
540.
divide that by like 4 or whatever?
Yeah, so a draft horse, 50, a wagon, 35.
Okay,
I'd like
so
to ride in the wagon.
yeah, a wagon. Oh, all right. So look, a draft horse can pull 540 pounds. A wagon weighs 400. If we use a riding horse, it travels a little bit further, but it can only carry 480 pounds. So you'd only be able to put 80 pounds in the wagon. So I say we get 2 draft horses, and we just because we have a ton of stuff, and plus if people are going to be riding in the wagon and you've got armor, I think it's going to be better if we bridle two draft horses with a wagon. And then everybody else can get their own mounts.
I'll tune in next week. We'll finally get to the adventure.
Okay.
Duff is just gonna steal all of this again.
No, you guys fine. Buy some horses, buy a wagon, get your stuff, y'all. I'm not gonna get crazy that you need. To
I'm also throwing in 15.
Yeah,
I'm
throw some
subtracting
money
it
in
from my sheet right now.
If we all put 25, we could buy the 2 horses in the wagon.
Okay, yeah. I'm putting 25.
Yep. Yeah. Get your stuff. Right. I'm not worried about you putting. You can drag it over to your. Y'all can drag those over to your inventory or not. I'm not sweating it. So.
Yeah, I say we just put them in the. We'll put them in the party inventory. Yeah.
You're gonna lose them later on anyway, so don't worry about it.
I know. Except for my mastiff, he's in my own inventory.
No. Actually, you know what? I'm going to. When we get there and I secure trade routes between Phandelver and Gauntlgrim, I'll pay everyone back for their portions of it, and I'll take the 2 horses in the wagon and I'll put it part of my transportation fleet. I'm gonna build.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Away we go.
All right. So what's my how much do I need to donate?
27 gold.
All right.
And that's just for the wagon and the 2 draft horses.
All right, 27 gold is 270 silver.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to drop some of that wheat right now.
And then I'm going to get a riding horse and a saddle.
That's 695.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a riding horse and saddle too, since I'll just weigh down more. So.
Yeah, I think
Varus needs to turn into a horse. Actually, Varus can just be my horse.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, why didn't you do that?
I'm gonna buy a saddle, and Varus, can you turn into a horse for me, and can I just ride you around? I don't want to buy a horse.
Well, I'm going to travel this style. I'm going to turn into a giant eagle and going to fly and fly.
Why don't you turn into an elephant and pull us all?
Nope. I don't think so.
No. All right, so we're on our way.
Oh.
Do I have to
obviously I refill
bit and bridle and saddle for the mastiff, or does that come with the mastiff?
No, you need a bit and bridle.
Or a bone and.
I like this kind of stuff. I enjoy this.
Keep going. Great.
How much is a goat? We could pull some goats behind us.
And we can eat them later.
Goats?
You were so getting married.
That's what my dwarf rides in WoW.
Oh yeah, Hondo needs goats to pay the dowry.
That's right.
I did too. I played it
Pay the dowry.
How many goats?
Let's get the goats.
I don't see a price of a goat.
There's no goats.
Sheep?
There's an elephant though.
Yeah, that's a mount. You dork.
Elephant.
Hey, you roll up on an elephant.
How many silver pieces to a gold piece? 10?
10, yeah.
10.
All right, and we're making our way to Gauntlet Grim. Yay!
Wait,
I'm flying.
do they have any camels?
No, they have just livestock, horses and cows, goats and sheep. Yeah, they don't have anything fancy. You're not.
Wait, they have goats?
You just
They
said
could have goats. Yeah, they have livestock, but y'all can't buy any. They're totally out right now.
I tried to milk a goat once. Found out it was man.
Yeah.
Let's bring some chickens.
Oh God!
How many mastiffs do they have? Because I'm starting to get a little salty that
Help me.
the gnome's riding a mastiff and I'm over here riding in a wagon.
You're riding next to your love, keeping her safe.
No, she bought her own horse.
She's sitting right next to you, love. She's not letting you out of her sight.
I'm sure there was another mastiff there for sale. It was a runt to the litter.
Yeah, the gnome would fit on the mastiff, but I'm not sure the big dwarf would be able to find a mastiff that it would fit.
Yeah, I won't buy the mastiff. I am going to buy a war gong though to announce our presence.
You buy as long as it's standard inventory items, you can buy away. Just deduct it if that's really what you want. Knock yourself out.
Hmm.
Do I need barding?
I'm getting you.
Oh, that's the tack harness and... Oh, that was... I have barding. Okay.
I'm gonna buy 1 pound of ginger.
We got 200 pounds of ginger we've been trying to shake for 6 months.
Oh, I like it.
Folks.
That was good.
Mm-hmm. Making fun of Eldith. That's not very nice. She loves you.
I'm set to go, everybody.
Yeah, I'd like to hire a bard to play this.
Yeah, I got the war gong, man.
Okay.
Let's go.
You
need more cowbell, man. All right, so yeah, we're on our way.
Okay. And they make their way from Long Saddle. They come up the road, and then they make a lovely whoosh, and you're going to have a slow time once you get toward the mountains and all that. That there's a small, carved, semi path. It's kind of hard on the wagons and all that, but it'll get you toward the mountain range. And that the dwarves and Eldith will explain that y'all. I'm not sure if y'all have been to Gauntlet Grim before, but it's a city carved out of the living rock. Huge, underground, hundreds of levels, and it's known, like I said, for their mines that have great access to many of the minerals and iron ores and stuff like that that are needed in the area. And y'all can get, it doesn't take you long before when you get into the mountains that you will see it, and Eldith knows exactly where to go, what areas to look out for, make sure the wagons get in and out, and y'all can make your way to the great kingdom of Gauntlet Grim. And you will come before the big doors of the city, and Eldith will...
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Let you
just
in.
got to Gauntlet Grim. You can't leave.
Yeah, exactly. He's gone. Disappears. And the kind of things you want to know, that many of the upper levels and what's called the central hub of the city is called the Iron Tabernacle. And even though it's,
do we have to get rid of our horses and our mastiffs before we get there?
No, they'll be on an upper level where they will handle and be able to stable your mounts and all that, and the dog, there's a place where they can keep them safe and all that, because it's, you know, you're going to be going into the city and down a few levels through twisting stairs, and there's some functioning elevators and all that that kind of get down to some lower levels, and then farther on down in the mining, you know, mine carts are available to ride in and out. But knowing y'all's pin, you know, for being underground for so long, that, you know, that's the last place where y'all want to go. You're kind of staying closer to the upper levels, you know, wanting to enjoy some fresh air, even though the scent of, you know, the mines and the metalworking and, you know, basic dwarven scents that the dwarves are all happy about. But, you know, yourself and the bugbear and Varus, you know, Furbolg, you know, it's a little, you know, you're kind of wanting to get to that fresh air. There's also from time to time that you'll hear and know that there are spectral remnants of ghosts that inhabit the city, and though most of them are pretty, you know, benign in nature, because they're really just, it's most of them are they're past dwarven souls that have long deceased in the city and all that. But, you know, you've heard, and every now and then you catch the glimpse of one maybe floating through a hallway or into a wall and all that. And Eldith says, don't pay no attention to them, you know, just step away. Don't make, you know, if one tries to make serious eye contact with you, don't, just ignore it and look on. They're pretty harmless. So
why wouldn't we engage the ghosts?
Who knows what their tails or their timing and all that? You can, but, you know, they just kind of ignore them. They're just kind of considered part of the city. And, they just, you know, most of the time they try to keep out of the way of the living, but from time to time they'll make a way up to a certain area that, you know, basically was a long lost memory of theirs or something that they remember, you know, wanted to be able to try to revisit, you know, to part of their living life, and they make their way around. But, you know, it's just one of those things that's, you know, that's kind of made this city unique, is the ghosts that inhabit the area. But other than that, yeah, you make your way into the city. You make your way to, Eldith is greeted with an uproar, and that you hear a few of some of the guards and a few of the management, you know, those who kind of oversee the city and all that, you know, they give her hugs. They introduce, you know, she introduces to everyone to them, and special attention paid to Hondo. And that they say, well, your father will, you know, will definitely want to know that you're here and all that. And she goes, yes, I probably should make time for him shortly here, but I want to, you know, she wants to get her companions here all settled in, and they will take you, you know, kind of understanding that you've, you know, brought their prized treasure home, that they're going to put you up in some very opulent, you know, rooms. You know, we'll definitely get you a change of clothes and, you know, fresh, you know, the new, you know, fruits and cheeses, you know, we brought to the room so you may snack and relax, and that, you know, to feel at ease around the area. That, you know, they, you know, basically a few of the levels where you're at, you know, you're free to move around and walk. Outside of getting down to the mines, just making sure that you don't, you know, make sure you have escorts to go with you, just in case. It's just part of the process. But outside of that, Eldith's, you know, will get you checked in, basically, you know, and get you settled, and she will then excuse herself for, you know, for some time while she goes and checks in with her father. Anything that y'all would want to know or ask of any of the locals or people that you see around, or before she takes off and says she will, you know, return back post haste, but she must go check in and let her family and kin know that she is home.
Well, the only reason we're here was to bring her home, right? There's no other, like...
Well, guys, she's going to see her father. Now's your time.
we can turn around.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Job done. Boom.
So we bring her to her house, and we don't get invited in? Okay.
Well, no, she says she's got to go. She says you're fairly certain that there's going to be a big feast and a big party by bringing her home.
Yeah.
But she said, just give me a few hours here. She's going to go check in and she'll be right back to make sure everybody's good. But if she doesn't go tell them that she's back, then surely her family will be upset that she's been gone for so long and been no word from her. And she says, let her go take care of this. And then she can get, y'all settled in just to relax for the night. And then, from there you can make plans for what you want to do.
I would like to ask about her status at the local bar. Like the family status,
Okay. No, yep, you sure can. You can find there's a few little shopping areas or, little tavern, that's built, in the area where you're at. You can find one fairly quickly, once you kind of, get in, you get your stuff settled, y'all get cleaned up, get out of your riding clothes, get into some fresh garments and things like that, unless you want to, bathe, which is foreign to the dwarves, but that's okay.
I'm going to clean up after I go to the bar.
Well, we've only been on the road for a week. We probably did all that back in Long Saddle.
What's that?
Bathed.
Well, you've been on the road. Well, you have there, but you've been on the road for a week here, getting across land and all that. So you trust me. You dwarves know that you are going to be hospitable here, and this is like a home base for y'all. This is a dwarf city. Y'all have got no want to leave or desire to leave. This is awesome time for y'all. You're right in your element.
We were born for the road, Duff. We were born for the road.
He's trying to escape, but he can't. The DM won't let him. And y'all,
they close the doors because of an incoming orc attack.
Well, yeah, that's right. They have to keep watch of everything. But y'all, you make your way. You do a little cleanup. You do all that, and you make your way to a little tavern. Sure, there's a little spot where y'all can have a refreshing, quenching drink. And you'll notice all of a sudden that it didn't take long that you will see that dwarves and such they are watching you. They look at you. They point somewhat to you, and you hear them whispering. Those who brought our beloved daughter home. It's spread fairly quickly who y'all are. And that y'all had just made, and then they said something, then you start to hear something about Underdark. Apparently Eldith, has, definitely made her way to her family, and it didn't take long for the servants and some of the help and all that to get out, and they start talking, and the rumors are spreading fairly quickly, of something magnificent, great, or, troubled times underneath, and, Eldith was brought home, and y'all are just, going to be the toast of the town. And then actually, Dirtless asking about her father, the dwarves hadn't picked up on it yet, but you begin to hear the name of King Brunor.
Like Brunor Battlehammer?
That is exactly who is her father.
Holy crap, are you kidding me?
No.
Now, consider me oppressed now.
Now you want America.
She never said it, and y'all got in there, and you begin to find out that she is of the Battlehammer family. She never told y'all her last name. And y'all are, and as soon as y'all, definitely the dwarves. I'm not sure if the Banjo or Vars, y'all may roll me history checks if you would like to see if maybe that chance and that name has come across your radar. It definitely has for the dwarves. And y'all have all of a sudden, okay. So everyone, well, if you haven't heard for them, you know who King Brunor Battlehammer is and his exploits and the group that he has run with for quite a long time. And now
I turn to Hondo and I say, you're not going to like this, but I think we can work with this.
Yes, and boom. Then it's not long before Eldith, one of her matrons, basically, her entourage of, other women. I don't know what dwarves do like that. If it's like, royalty, if they have their own little, powwow of women and all that, if dwarf women are like that. I don't think so. But anyway,
yeah, the women roll with the men.
Yeah. So, but here y'all are there you're beginning to hear all this, and all of a sudden the realization, and everybody's, the group is staring back at Hondo, going, yes. And a messenger, one of Eldith's entourage group finds y'all, kind of exasperated. It was expecting to find you in your rooms and all that, and was, didn't take long to ask around that, they knew exactly where y'all were at. And he brings a handwritten letter to you, and you turn it around, and it's actually got the seal of the king and the family is on it. And
to me?
Yeah, well, it's actually to the group, and it's basically Brunor is requesting an audience. If you will please make your way, follow the messenger here to discuss matters of grave importance concerning your experiences in the Underdark. And he motions over to the barkeep and, the tavern area, and he walks up and gives a little money and says, please follow me. And he is going to escort you to the king's, receiving area. And y'all make your way, and more as y'all continue on, you will see people, definitely the dwarves. And there's not as many as you would expect. Even though this is a fairly good-sized dwarven settlement, it is not overflowing with dwarven populace. If you don't remember, he had established this area and retaken this Gauntlet Grim and was going to rebuild it. And he's definitely still in that process of, building the clan up and the families up.
Want some more of that noble Bosimic blood?
Apparently. So basically are taken over to the Great Hall.
I say marrier and then coup d'etat.
So you are moved. You go through some long hallways and some very dwarvish, carved, stone structures and hallways, and you're taken into a pretty mighty hall. That's definitely the king's welcoming area. And before you will see a red-haired dwarf of fierce and proud demeanor that sits upon a massive stone throne that Hondo and Ruckus basically are in awe of. He is definitely flanked by a number of very well prepared and well trained guards and advisors. And there's a long stone table is off to one side. There's some refreshments there. But that's about what you see. And Eldith is there, standing off to one side. Has been very well cleaned up. Looks exquisite to Hondo's eyes at the moment. The best she's ever looked.
No, just stop putting words in my mouth, goddammit.
And he stops, he puts his hand up, and he's... Oh, we need to get rid of the bard's music here because we asked for a bard earlier, and so now we can bring it back to so that we don't need any deep growling there, Duff. He basically puts his hand up to hush everyone talking around him and to get everybody kind of turns in to see y'all enter. And he says, "Welcome, friends. Based on what my daughter has told me, and he will thank you. I thank you beyond words for bringing my treasure home to me. But I have a mind to know more about the rumblings and rumors that are going on in the depths outside of my city. If you relate to me what you know, we can talk about what you might want to do next. And he will then ask for someone to recount what the group, a little bit about the group, how you came together, and what your experience have been since you met my daughter, who kind of gave him the background of what she had been done. She had been captured by some Drow in the mountain area up there and was unable to get back, get word out, and they had no idea. And she related them to everything pretty much up until when y'all were captured and showed up in the cells of Velkenvelv. So
I'm gonna step
Hondo takes
forward.
pretty good nate.
Yeah, I'm gonna step forward and motion to Hondo and be like, if you want a grand tale of our adventures and the rescuing of your beloved daughter, I suggest you speak to our leader here, a man so brave and bold that any father-in-law would be proud to call him son.
Well spoken, my brother from another mother. And he looks over to you, Hondo, and he holds his hand up and he beckons you to step forward and relate the tale of how you recovered my treasure and brought her to the surface. Bear no expense in letting me know detail of what has happened in your time. And he waits.
All right, so I will give him, to the best of my ability, a fair accounting of what took place.
Okay, I want to see some performance checks.
Basically,
I say you should start where a wagon's got stolen.
Yeah. I mean, really, if he wants detailed, tell him about my blacksmith shop that I've got in Phandelver.
Oh, that one that went out of business. Oh, we're sorry to hear that. I may not have known.
Yeah. I'll give him a lengthy, detailed explanation, and then I'll be like, well, so you're welcome for the bastard, and then I'll just turn around and walk off.
Say that again now? What did you say at the very end there? You gave him detailed...
He's welcome for the bastard, and then I just walk off. The bastard I put nailed in.
The bastard. I interrupt and say, yeah, the bastard. It's a wagon we brought as a gift. It's what we call it. We call it the bastard.
Eldest just says he's being modest, Father. He's
It was several.
I'll be able to take care of him once we get to some private time on our own. But
no, so I do give him a real accounting. I'll give him a real accounting of what took place, and I'll wait for him to respond.
Well, he listens to this quite in-depthly, and his questions will come out and wanting to know more about the threat of and getting in more detail of what you experienced with the demon lords and what, which ones.
In my long-winded gnomish tradition, I will account to him how it ran away from the very first demon we saw, and then the second demon.
What do you remember? Do you remember which ones y'all ran into?
We ran away from the Demigorgon, which
that was the first one.
That was the first one, and then the last one.
We ran from the Mushroom Lord, the Slime Lord, and we tried to close out one that took over one of the Drow, but I don't know. There's the 9 hells are on the move, and something needs to be done.
All right.
There's some dead fish people down there, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. So that was the Demogorgon, and you had in Gracklestug. I'm trying to think. We're down underneath there. Went underneath, but I don't remember which. did we run into? I have to go back and look myself. I don't remember, but you at least definitely ran into 3, several high-end demons. And he will listen to this and very intently, and look over to his daughter from time to time. You know, very happy that he sees her, and she will nod a few times based on some of the your stories to reconfirm, or he will eyes will kind of open up, especially on the discussions of what happened with the demon confrontations, and that you were very lucky to get out alive. Not many can live to tell the tale of having confrontations with Demon Lord and surviving. And he says, I need time to consider all that you have told me, and I would like to speak again at the welcoming feast that we will have later tonight in honor of our daughter being back home, and of your abilities to bring her to us. We will hold a feast in celebration. And y'all go, oh, really? Food and lots of ale, which the dwarves definitely will perk up at that.
That's a cool picture, by the way, that front of the gun.
Yeah, actually, I keep having it. I still have it up. It's a pretty cool shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So y'all will
notice how the door looks like a dwarf, the beard and the...
That's right.
I did.
Everybody get that?
It's almost like me.
Yeah. Or Eldith, I can't tell.
Yeah. So y'all will, so y'all are basically, oh boy. So y'all are sent back, excused and escorted back. He says, yes, please, feel free to enjoy the area, and be prepared. I will have my servants call you again here shortly. The halls are being set up and we are waiting. He goes, we've got other representatives and groups are here on their way. And he goes, he basically kind of lets slip a little bit that there are other representatives from the surface world are making their way here because of some rumors and bizarre events that have begun to develop in other parts of the Underdark. And so you basically, hearing that and understand that, you've confirmed some stuff that he already kind of knows about or has heard about, and that it will be interesting to see what goes on tonight, because you are hearing in the discussion, you'll kind of pick up some whispers from time to time, that it's basically many representatives of many of the factions that populate the surface world are on their way in, being the Emerald Enclave, the Harpers, the Zentarum, who else is the Order of the Gauntlet, and the Lord's Alliance. And I'm not sure if y'all know kind of who they are, but they played a big role in the rise of Tiamat and all that, but they've always been around. And
play a big venture.
Yeah, they've the factions of, I haven't used them a lot in some campaigns, but they're here for certain. They're going to make a huge appearance in what you're getting ready to deal with. So if y'all, when we get talking about them and you have questions about them, I can tell you a little bit more about each of the factions.
Didn't a bunch of women stop Tiamat or something like that?
They are in the middle of stopping Tiamat, if they could ever stay focused. So they are in the middle of discovering they have gone through the horde of the Dragon Queen. So they have definitely are in prohibiting and been a thorn in the side of the dragon cults down south. And at the moment they are, rumor has it that there has been mayhem and stuff going on in, where are we at? Outside the Misty Forest in Daggerford, south of Waterdeep. That's where the group's at right now, doing their thing. Yes. But, so anyway, so y'all will, take your leave of the king. You make your way back to your quarters. And y'all will await.
I want to find a library.
Okay. 2.
Just surround myself by smart things.
He's trying to learn all the dwarven secrets.
So you go find a library?
Yep.
And anybody else do anything? Or y'all just kind of hanging out in your rooms?
I'm actually not. What I want to do is I want to head down to the Great Forge if he'll let me, and see what kind of blast furnace they've got, and see the mines and blacksmiths in work in operation.
They will let you know that can happen. You probably don't have enough time to get there and back before the celebration starts, but that after that, or based on your time that you spend here.
Is there a map of this place?
No, hell no. It's too big. No, this is free form.
Is there only one library or more?
Oh no, you got to remember, this city is I'm trying to say how big it's pretty deep into the mountain areas. The Great Forge is the burning heart and the true treasure of the city. Deep beneath the settled levels of Gauntlegrim, dwarven crafting and elven magical bound, the slumbering primordial Majera, a being of fire and destruction, harnessing its incredible powers to heat the forge. On anvils of adamantine, blessed by the priest of Morden, great items of power for forged, their base material infused with the splendors of Majera's essence. The unceasing wonders flowing from these forges help make Gauntlegrim into one of the most magnificent cities of Faerun has ever known. That was back in its heyday, and the forges are going, but they are not up to, their great feats as they were centuries ago. That is still in the process of getting this all ramped up.
Do they have a temple to Moradin here then?
I would have to assume that they do somewhere, don't you think? Possibly.
Okay. I go there.
There's temples. Yep, sir. There's other temples too. Maybe, but you can find a temple. Mm-hmm.
I want the biggest library. I don't want some small dinky library. I want the big one.
You should come to the Temple of Morden then. There's probably some books there.
Yeah.
I don't want.
But dwarven books are written on giant stone tablets, so you might need somebody to go with you to take them off the shelf.
Yeah. Well, like I said, y'all are you're basically shown some library, but to get to some of the bigger ones, the servants and all that around here will say, well, we won't have time to show you that at this point. We'll put it.
I don't really want to read anything. I just want to sit around it.
Well, you won't have time to get there and back, getting down deeper into the city. I'll go to the little. But it's definitely plausible that you will be able to go do that after the feast. But everything right now is geared up toward putting this feast on. And
I'm gonna go back to my room and put the books up in a circle around me and sit down.
Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't take y'all. Just only a few hours at max. Before the servants and the group, and Eldith comes in.
What happens at the temple?
Well, you can a small temple that's by. You could. What do you want to do? You go in and say, "Oh, it looks pretty cool." There it is.
Are there priests in there?
There may be someone around. Like I said, most of the city is gauged toward getting ready for the feast.
I'm just wondering if a priest of Moradin might be interested in the fact that I found a lost temple to Moradin's son, Dumathoin. Nobody gives a shit about that around here?
Not at this point in time. Maybe later.
They're worried about the feast.
You need to get to the feast. This nagging bug in the back of your head that sounds like Jim Jar is telling you there's more of that later. Get to the feast. You could tell. What do you want to ask them? Or tell them about Morden or Dumathoin. They go, Duma who?
The priests of Morden don't know about his son.
Sure they do. Great. He's dead, isn't he?
They don't care. They don't care that I found a temple for him, and that I'm a priest of him.
They say awesome. You're soon to be,
They don't
you know,
they
pat you on the
soon
back.
to be a son-in-law of the great king too, from what we hear.
Oh,
Like a judo
my God.
Christian man.
So apparently, I know how to role play, but the DM is for shit.
You don't have time. They don't. I'm not gonna get into a religious discussion right now. The city is geared toward having a feast for you, and they can't wait for this feast. And
but we all know something bad's going to happen at the feast, so we're stalling.
I know,
right?
Uh-huh.
What are you talking about, man?
It's a wedding.
I'm gonna get drunk, and I'm gonna take somebody home.
Yeah, there's a few elven women that you thought were men, but they're women, and they're definitely giving Ruckus the look. And
elven women are beautiful.
They are.
Dwarven women are beautiful.
They are sizing him up. And yeah, so you could go visit. The priest said we will chat later about this unique discovery that you have made. Young Hondo.
Now please go to dinner.
Yes.
Go eat something.
Go eat dinner.
You look famished.
You need to put on a little weight. Yes. Or Eldith will break you in two. We know that for certain. Her prowess is great.
Only because she's put on a little.
All right. So you guys make it to the lovely feast. And you could tell that it is really in y'all's honor, because everybody, everyone wants to come up and chat with you. They shake your hands. They want to know more. They ask inquiring questions, and it is more, it's more attention than y'all are used to, and it's somewhat a little, not put offish, but sets you on unease just because of, of everything that you've seen and heard. And, you understand that there's, the ongoings, the doings that are happening underground, and the feast is kind of, going in the opposite direction. Even though the beer is really, really good, and, the food smells wonderful.
I have a feeling we all drink too much of it.
Well, yeah, you definitely could, but then the king will enter, and with Eldith, and she runs, she definitely makes her way over to Hondo to take his arm and pull him over to have a more lengthy discussion with the king in private about the future of his daughter. That's the role playing. We're gonna role play it, can't we, Hondo? Come on,
no, because you shoehorned me into this bullshit despite my protests saying that she was more like a sister than anything else.
It blossomed into true love, Hondo.
No, it didn't.
And how can you say no to that? A great Bruno Battlehammer could be your stepdad.
No.
Think of all that you would be able to accomplish.
He could go talk to Wolfgar anytime he wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be more interested in Cadbury.
So y'all,
I believe she's his daughter too. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So y'all have a deep discussion, and he, finding out about your background and the man that you are, and understanding that all that you have seen and heard, and your beliefs, and my daughter can see. He can say, I see why my daughter picked someone like you. Good man you are, dwarven you are. I mean, so. But the feast goes on, and you can see there are definitely there are definitely humans are here. There's some elves here. The factions, definitely, you can tell who they are, how by the way they're dressed and the way that they keep to themselves, and they move in and out, and you get a few prying questions from each and every one of them, just a little bit, basically some of the same information that you have relayed to Brunor, but you relate to them. And then after the feast kind of really Let me see. Where are we going next? The feast rages on for quite a while. And, y'all put down a good bit of food and a good bit of drink. And during toward the end of this time, you will see that Brunor stands up and he makes a quick speech about, the group and his daughter once again for all to hear, and that they're glad that she is back home, and that he will excuse himself from the festivities because he is just overcome with joy, and would like to speak with his daughter again, and to continue for the feast to carry on, and he wishes everyone a good night. And it's not just 30 minutes, not even that long. Another servant will come and collect the rest of the group here, and he says the king has summoned you to his private chamber for he needs to speak with you one more time, please. And you will follow the servant through the great hall, around a few hallways, and into, definitely you can see a well-guarded, very opulent part, for dwarven opulence that is, section. And you're escorted into his room, and he is there sitting, does have a tankard of ale with him, but he's out of most of his kingly robes and all that, a little bit more in a relaxed mood. And he kind of motions for everybody to take a seat around a big table that he has there. And he gives you a big speech here that I am not going to try to replicate. Oh my. In dwarven talk, but he basically goes, I've told the allies you met tonight what you've told me. I invited them here, and then basically, as he's giving this, you will see some of the representatives, and people start kind of coming in. They're being motioned into behind the group to listen in, all that. And invite them here to learn what is happening, to share what we know, and to get their backing for what I propose. You have braved the Underdark and lived to tell the tale. You know better than anyone what it is we face, but we need to know more. The Zhentarim have a stake in a secret Underdark trading post called Mantol Dareth. If you can get them on your side, they'll guide you there, where you can meet with one of their agents, Garzum Dulak. He can provide you with a map to Graven Hollow. It is a legendary place built by the stone giants of long ago, said to contain all the knowledge of the depths. If there's an answer to be found for what has happened, you might find it in there. If you're willing to go back, that is. I don't propose to send you into Underdark unprepared, and I hope you make an impression on those gathered here so they'll support our cause and your mission. From what I've seen and heard, there's no one better to do what needs to be done. So what say ye?
My ears perked up at the word knowledge.
Yes. It is a vast trove of knowledge that the Zhentarim kind of know about and have held to themselves for a great bit of time. In the Zhentarim, they are a shadowy black network organization that recognize and reward ambitions. They kind of do a few things, under the table, and have known to take a few people out there, definitely a darker part of the overworld. And they feel very secretive to who they are. They, however, that they hold, their bonds of oath and honor hold the network together, and it galvanizes their members to a united purpose most of the time. And they are concerned about, if the demon lords, if that's truly what's going to, can make it to the surface and all that, then they'll lose that kind of control. And so they've been willing to commit to stop the demon lords from breaching the surface, because that would inhibit their plan, and who they are. All the factions are that way, of some one way or the another. That the Lord's Alliance that is there, they're kind of more the political and economic coalitions of the city. They basically they handle that. The Emerald Enclave is they operate a little bit more on their isolation. They're more of like the druidic faction that basically they believe in a both a yin and yang to life and all that, and they keep that balance in the world. They don't particularly like things that have to be killed, but they understand it. But at the same time, knowing that you talk and have, it was Zugmoy and Jubilex that you have discussed with him, the two demons that you have run into, that infection can't be allowed to corrupt the flora and the fauna, outside of what they've already done in the Underdark. It needs to stay there, and it would be true nightmaric proportions if it was allowed to get up above ground on the surface and infect that. The Order of the Gauntlet is they are the holy-minded crusaders that seek justice and honor through a homely fine sense of friendship and camaraderie. And then the Harpers are the spellcasters and spies that kind of pride themselves on being the incorruptible defenders of the greater good and the champions of the oppressed. So these groups are here, and he is basically put into y'all that to work with them or try to win them over so that they may be able to bring resources and supplies and knowledge to what you as a group will need to make your way back down into the Underdark and vanquish the demonic activities that are infesting the area. Bum bum bum. So, what do you say to all that?
Can you repeat that again? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, what? As I just lost everybody on the stream. Everybody's...
I am a member of the Harpers. Turtles is, but he doesn't tell anybody.
Okay. Well, you have a few contacts there, and you will recognize who they are, and through particular conversations and things that you have said, you know that they wish to speak with you on your own when the next possible chance comes up.
I will do it when the next possible chance comes up.
Yeah, and right now you're in the King's private chambers.
And I should have contacts with all the rogues from each of those organizations through our rogue network, Google.
Well, you'll know more. You know more than Zentarum. Really, because that's more of their backdrop. And who they are. The dark under. They're I wouldn't say they're truly evil, but they're definitely chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. Anytime for diplomacy.
I'm like, I would be like, oh crap! It doesn't seem like we have a choice, does it? Then
Yeah. Well, my secret group of cheesemeisters haven't shown up, so I'm out.
What? What did you just say?
That's a made-up group, man.
The cheesemeisters.
No.
Wisconsin, man.
Oh. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm like, did I miss a group or something that was going down? Oh man, I was lost there for a second.
Looking through my notes, and no, I don't see them here.
No, cheesemeisters? No, that's not a thing.
He's about to really get married off here. So Bruno is just before you. He awaits your answer.
So if he doesn't even give us a chance to think.
That's what but he says, he's basically, he needs, he wants to know now. You're legends already.
We're legends.
You have survived the Underdark. And
well, how soon do we have to go back down there?
He's wanting you to work the grooves. You've got to, are you, willing to take the steps that are necessary? He puts to you to take this adventure on? Are you, will you be committed to vanquishing the evil that is in the Underdark?
I'm going to ask him. It was a near thing, us getting out, and if we go back in there, what do we have at our disposal to gear up for this?
Well, he's going to tell you. Yeah, so we're getting get with the different factions here and speak with them to get some of their resources from each group. We need to find out what they all are willing to commit, and I can't do that. That has to come from you and the group, because y'all are going to lead this expedition back down into the Underdark. And he says, so that's the first step, is that you need to bring the various factions on board.
And do they have all the representatives here, or
yes.
is it just...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a couple of each individuals are here that represent them, and y'all have been introduced to them at the party. I can give you the names here in a little bit. And he thinks that, y'all, the best bet is for the group can serve as brokers among the various parties over him, because it would be more even-handed if the group did it, because y'all are the ones that have been there instead of him trying to put this together. But
he has the forges of Gauntlgrim at his disposal. What can we get from that?
Not sure what you're asking. Are you asking him to provide you with great weapons or stuff like that?
Or make them at our disposal so we can buy them or something. I don't know. He doesn't have to award us. I mean, we did return his daughter, but...
That you're going to marry.
No.
That should come with some perks.
Does he have any kind of gear that we can pick up?
Standard gear that you don't already have, that you seem to be well equipped already. What is it you need from us that, we could possibly provide?
I need a bigger wand.
They're not, and he's not going to have, you're not going to find that kind of stuff here. No.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll honestly tell you that you're asking that stuff from and all that you detected a slight, Bruner was slightly, you could see that he was not happy that that a dwarf of your stature would ask like something like that.
Ask for gear to go on an adventure?
Yes, to ask that you knowing that you've already done that, he can, you want titles, he can provide property, maybe some products as rewards for the Great Forge, but you'll kind of figured that such mercenary negotiations of that in front of the king, and from dwarf to dwarf, that lowers his opinion of you.
I don't give a shit.
You should. You're a dwarf. You know exactly who he is.
Yeah. And as a dwarf, I give a shit about titles.
I care about that's what he's saying. Or asking for products of the forge. You have a lot, already, already knowing that you've got out of the Underdark with the weapons and the gear and your brains and who you are,
that's why I expressed to him it was a near thing, and I wasn't asking him to give us anything. I was asking him to make it at our disposal so we could go get it if we needed it. So if he wants to think less of that, then he can go fuck himself, because he wasn't down there, we were. Mm-hmm. And he's asking us to go back.
Yeah, for the greater of Faerun and the Sword Coast. That's right.
Right. And we want to go back prepared.
Then go do it. You are prepared. But you haven't even talked to the factions yet.
Well, we don't need to talk to the factions to know that we're about to go into a dangerous situation.
And you're going to need all the help you can get.
Yeah, we're trying to rally them to our side.
Yeah, no, I get that. But he really thinks that looking to pick up better equipment to go back that's a negative. Anything, any kind of gear we can get that's better than the gear we're wearing.
to like rearm and retool.
Yeah, shit. We've been in the Underdark for God knows how long.
And you've got lots of magical weapons. You've got lots of stuff on you, don't you?
No, I don't.
You don't. What? So you?
I have 2 rings. I have 2 rings and a hammer. That's what I have, and that's fine if he doesn't have it available. But the fact that he would think less of somebody looking to upgrade their gear before they went on a very dangerous mission. Well, like I said, he can go fuck himself.
Well, that's not what he wants to hear.
Hmm?
He's disappointed.
I don't know if he's anything like Eldith. He might like it.
You would, yeah. He was expecting that you would want to do what's best for Faerun, and you would go do it. No questions asked.
Well, we're not his subjects.
Where's Bruno, man?
Then he wishes you well. You are free to do. You are free to do what you'd like to do. Then
I turn into an eagle and start flying around the camera.
Yeah, well, you're in a room. So.
Small eagle.
Yeah.
You said we could do whatever we wanted.
Yeah, we can do whatever you want. Yeah, Cyber. Not at the moment, Cyber. Yeah, give him a wandering monster. Yeah.
Well, I think we're all heroes deep down.
Yeah, we'll do it, I guess.
Very deep down, right?
Yeah,
but not being able to upgrade our gear is kind of. Of course,
you have to ask. You have money. You have to ask. So he's not going to. Just
I did ask.
He says. What
I said, "Will you make it at our disposal so that we can go get it?"
Did you ever hear no came out of my mouth?
No, I just heard the condemnation of, he thinks less of you because you want to protect yourself.
You happen to detect that from him. I'm just letting you know that it definitely, if you'd like to know, it actually says this, that if you try to negotiate for stuff like that Brunor considers that mercenary negotiations, and it kind of lowers his opinion of you. That you would not want to just freely, as adventurers and what you have witnessed, that you would not say, yes, we would consider it a great honor, and we will, work the factions, work what we need to do, and we will go and vanquish the evil.
Well, we did say that
reject-like.
Yeah, we did say that we would talk to the faction. So
yeah,
okay. Well,
talk to the faction. We just want to have the ability to buy maybe like a +2 robes of armor.
You won't. Yeah, you're not going to find any. Regular gear, maybe some uncommon stuff, but there's not going to be much else from that. After that,
what's considered uncommon?
There's some of the simple. I'll tell you. Let's go look at magic items. Do we have it by? Let me see. Trying to actually, I don't know. Should they have it listed out? Sorry, I'm looking real quick because usually it's just by the groupings of what they are. Damn it! Let me look up a table. There is a 5e magic items, and what the hell was that? We want.
Speeding and speeding and smoking the reefer.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's right. Bad. He could give maybe I will think that as some gear for as a pre-wedding present. That's right.
Yeah. So if he thinks less of me now, wait until I snub his daughter.
Haven't you already?
That will never happen. They're certain. They're not. I don't know how to share this. I'm trying. They used to. The magic items list. They don't list it. They list it like for armor and swords and or weapons and all that. But it used to be a way. I thought that you could just sit there and show common items and some uncommon items. You remember with the 5e, and one of the things about it was that magic items are become less important over time. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but you know, a lot of the workings of selling and all that stuff, they give you prices, they give you general vicinities, but you're supposed to find it on adventures, not go able to buy it.
Yeah, but I'd like to be able to make some stuff.
It's they covered it. I have to role play it out some. They cover a lot of that and some things with Adventure League, you know, because you said you know, based on downtime activities and all that you can give access through and be able to purchase or create those items based on certain skills, and you have to work it all. In this instance, yeah, I know I just can't sit there and go, no, you can't find it all, but they don't make it very easy for you at all to get to that stuff. And I'm trying to looking through while we're sitting here chatting to kind of give you an idea of what possibilities could be here, because they're basically, you know, I don't have a table like saying here's what they have at Gauntlet Grim. No. So, but you know, is it a question to say of asking of something maybe that you're looking for? Then it could be a possibility they have it or don't have it. I don't know, without you getting more specific about something that you need.
Okay, +1 robe.
You know,
defense.
You know, so I could go look at a robe. Let's see. Great. So that was just shit. Maybe that's under armor. Oh, there's no such thing. Really?
Yeah, I couldn't find it either.
You know, but could we put something together? It's a +1 robe, sure, because that's basically just adding the 1 to your AC. You know, so I could figure something out. I had to go look at the robes, and I could figure out a pricing for them. Not a problem to do some of that, but to sit there and say, hey, I want to go down and I want me a big +3 great axe with some spells on it or something like that, I can't do it. Not going to be available to you because in 5e, it's something that you've got to go discover and find. It's not.
But here's the problem. Like, what's the point of having all this money if we can't at least, even if it took all of our money for a character to buy one magical item, 1,000 gold, or you know, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I don't know. It's just like then the money has no value. Because it's not like we're gonna.
That's what 5e did. If you've been paying attention to what they did with magical items and all that, they made it of a lesser importance. Magic has a lesser value now than it did in some of the other versions.
Do you hear that, Dirtless?
Oh, man.
Sorry.
You're less important.
You know, no, it's just what they did. So there was a sheet. I'm going to go pull it up because we were using part of it or looking at it when we were talking with Portal's Reach. How the hell, because you've got all these different tables that they said you could have access to, and maybe you roll up on the tables and maybe the shop will have this item. And then you roll to see if they have it, basically on what the character's wanting to find. And then you go find and establish a price for it. And then you haggle on that. But it's not something you walk in and say, here's a full list of everything that they would have. Because it is intuitive for the DMs and the world creators to put that out in adventures to go get. The gold is just happenstance in downtime activities to allow you to purchase some stuff and to restock, and that's its value. That is it.
All right, Duff, but you understand, we are coming out of the Underdark from Tomoa-chan with 0 downtime. We have made it to Gauntlet Grim, something that was like one of the main goals that we were trying to accomplish, and we've done
and
that.
Also there was 0 opportunity to find any magical items, not 0, but very few opportunities from that whole time we were in the Underdark, because everybody had base supplies.
Right.
And
that's right.
And here we are in
we were fighting like
city
mushrooms
with a legendary king, and we return his daughter, and he doesn't offer us anything other than to say, go do more work. It seems like every time we get to a point where we've accomplished something, the only thing that anyone ever gives us is gold, which has no value to us, or another quest to go on. There's never like a point where they're like, thank you, heroes. Here's a reward for each of you. And so here we are in a city with a legendary forge, and I ask him about magic weapons, and he's like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
He never said that. You said that.
No, you keep saying, oh, he thinks less of you and there's nothing available.
No, I didn't say. I never said there was nothing available.
Well, then tell us what we can get. For God's sakes, man, it's like pulling teeth.
Hey, no, back up. Back up. You're gonna go that route. The point is that I'm not gonna tell you. You have to ask. You have to say, okay, here's what I'm thinking of doing. Ruckus has done it several times with me, saying, here's what I'm thinking about doing. There is nothing. I don't have a shopping list for you to say, here is what's available to you. Okay, you're adventurers. And you have been rewarded with a feast. You have made it yourself out.
Are you shitting me?
I'm not shitting you. I'm not shitting you.
We bought ourselves a feast the moment we got out of that hellhole.
Yeah, you made your way out of there, and you into a small hamlet that was basically and exactly what it says is there's nothing there. It's a small little deal, and you needed to make your way. Your point was to get Eldith to the deal so that you could meet Brunor, and he's going to turn around and say, the need is great, y'all are the best option that we have, turn around and go back and solve this problem. I'm working with what I'm given.
Jesus Christ, Duff. You can want to read out of a goddamn book. You can understand what we want and try to make it available.
Can we try going to the library, maybe looking for something like maybe there was some gear over the centuries that has been lost in the Underdark, and maybe we can figure out maybe where we can look for that kind of stuff.
You were told that in Graven Hollow. Find the Zentarum to let you access to Mantle Dareth, where that you can then find this great vast of knowledge and all that is called Graven Hollow. And from there, take your next steps. That was exactly what was given to you.
So we're gonna go talk to anybody else?
No. So, but you could sit there. Your question is, what are you wanting to purchase, or what are you wanting to find? What is it you're wanting? I don't have that. That is you're running into an issue with 5e, and that has always been the bartering, the trading, of magical items, that they're not part of a storefront area, and that has been a lesser value in this setting, in that it's what you go find out in adventures. You go find out and discover and vanquish, and then you will find that, you will have access to that. In this module, what you have found so far is that you have gone from city to city and gone on some stuff. And I'll be honest with you, there have been several locations y'all never discovered where stuff was hidden. You went right through it. And so, okay, well, we missed that part. So then we go on to the next deal, and it has been more of the adventure so far is more to alert you and get you through seeing the aspects of what's been happening in Underdark. And so you've had a couple of side adventures. There were a couple of temples. There was the Ooze Temple. There were a few things, and there were a few magic items, but I'm not sure if you're looking for these rare or these unique legendary items. They are few and far between and almost never found. They are going to be the needle in the haystack.
How rare is rolling on magic item table G?
Almost impossible, I bet. Let me look. Hold on. Because I do know there's certain tables that they're basically hold on, let me pull up the tables real quick so I can answer that deal for you. Dungeon Master Guide, and let's go to tables. So I know we've rolled off of table A, and then B, and C and D are the bigger items, and then you said table G. These are wondrous items, and you have to find them. Most of the time, you're going to have to find them. Can't say that they're not available, but but I'm letting you know that in this setup and all that, there's not something saying that he has the ability to give you a cube of force. Not there.
No, but on table G,
that's some big stuff, and we can say that that's going to be
armor
something.
+1 chainmail is on table G.
I see armor +1.
It's number 30.
Let's look down to 30. Chainmail armor is a rare item. Yeah. Okay. So but understanding it's in that table, but table G is, I don't know what the possibilities of it are. When it's
so where does it say that it's rare?
Oh, it's in the description that I have. I have ability to pull up what it is. That's armor, it's chainmail, and then how rare is it? Because then it gives you a cost, basically from 501 to 5,000 gold pieces, and that's how that's put together. Now I have, this is not. I'm not saying it's not allowable, but I'm saying to sit there and say, hey, I want to. What do I have to be able to buy or get from them? I don't have that because that's not what he was offering. He wanted the group to unite the factions together and go vanquish the evil. That's all he has said to you so far. Not saying that we haven't found out anything from the factions, what they have or abilities to do. And then, you come to me and say, hey, is there ability to be able to find this, or does he have something like this? Such as chainmail armor +1. I don't know. I can find out.
What are they making? You said they got the forges going, but what are because they're producing something. Are they producing mithril armor? Are they producing? Are they mining ore to ship to another location? Like what are they doing with their resources? That we might be able to,
exploit.
Yeah, and exploit, take advantage of. It's like.
I didn't hear it. Sorry. I think Hondo, did you say something? Sorry.
Yeah. It's just if they're mining like a bunch of precious metal, and maybe we can buy the metal from them, and I can craft it, or something like that. Maybe we can ship it.
You don't have the time. You don't have the time to go do that based on the timing of what you know. That it is imperative for you to get back down underground. You don't have the months to be able to go. By doing that, you basically have just lost the module. You lost the battle. You're under a time constraint now. Letting you know.
So
you don't want to do that, that's fine. And I say,
heroes?
no, you can't do it. But I'm just letting you know that you understand now that time is of the essence. To get back down and figure out what's going on. They mine, like I said, iron, silver, gold, some mithril, and that they trade these, the ore and all that to across the other cities of Faerun. Certainly. And let's see, on the anvils, I'm not sure, that shows what they used to create. The dwarves have been able to seize the city from the Drow, which was documented in one of the storylines, and they prevented.
How long did it take us to get out of the Underdark?
Oh, months, right? Hold on, let me.
No. I'm not saying from the time we entered to the time we got out. I'm saying like how long from when we got the path to the exit. Like how many days did it take us to?
Are you talking about when you left? You talking about when you left Blending Stone? You mean, and got back up?
Yeah, or just out of the Underdark to the surface.
Not even just a few days.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so this is what I suggest. I suggest we talk to these people in these factions, rally their support as much as possible. I'm going to send word to my family and see if they can supply any soldiers. And then what we're gonna do is when we get back to the mouth of the Underdark, we're gonna set up a supply chain. We're gonna make this into a true dwarven war campaign. We're gonna set up a supply chain and a small community at the mouth of the cave, and then we're gonna have waypoints every so often, and they're gonna be relays.
You don't have the time to do that.
I can delegate. I don't have to do it myself.
No.
I can give my orders to somebody, and they look. I'm a dwarven commander. All right, I tell them to jump. They say how high.
Who are these people? And who are they that you're going to do this with? Then
my family.
Where are they?
The McLeods.
I thought there could only be one.
There is only one.
Exactly.
I'm the patriarch of the family. Everyone else was killed. All the other the people that are older than me. But I'm saying is like there's ways that we can get around this problem that we're having right now. We can go back into the Underdark. We can give our basically what we would like to have created, and if we go by the manual, like by the D&D manual or book or whatever, there's ways to craft, and if we go that route, then we can have the stuff that we would like made, sent down in a couple, maybe a week or 2 or 3 of whatever, like we don't have to get hung up on it right now, but just the ability to kind of circumnavigate the lack of this issue or the lack of coverage on this issue, so we're not getting hung up on it. But that's my suggestion. That's what I think we should do. Because we're trying to rally all these factions to go into the Underdark with us, but the more people we take down there, the less we're going to be able to forage for. Like we're gonna go down there with 30 people, and then we're gonna just eat mushrooms the whole time. Like we're gonna need supplies. We're gonna need potions. We're gonna need casters. We're gonna need people to go down there to help us fight. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying the other factions have to provide those people right now, but they can definitely send the word to their respective factions. Be like, look, this is a threat that affects everybody. No more BS between the factions right now. Right now, it's Faerun and Faerun only, and this is what's going on. And they give their reports to the leaders. Hopefully, we can make a strong enough case, and they'll provide us with what we need. But yeah, definitely rearm, retool, with refilling everything we need, and taking as many people with us down when we go this expedition. But I definitely would like to set up some kind of supply chain leading down into the Underdark and make a foothold at that mouth that we.
You can try. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. What else?
That's all for me. That's all I've got right.
I'm good.
Okay, so under Brunos, the Great Forge has again begun to produce metalworks. If the characters are in market for any metal goods, including arms and armor, or having such goods in need of repair or replacement, the dwarves of the Great Forge are happy to help. No magic weapons or armor are available for sale, although damaged magic items can be repaired.
Okay, so they don't have any already made for sale.
They have your regular armor types that are available in your standard equipment list.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is they have like basic stuff.
Yes,
but they haven't made anything that they can sell.
Because this place is just up and just starting to get back up.
Yeah, you remember if you've read the books and all that, what happened on the back end of the stuff is that
I read them all.
So, but he has the Great Forge has again begun to produce metalworks. So they have the market for metal goods, arms and armor, your general types of equipment and things like that. Or stuff that needs repair. Like you may have, I'm not sure if anybody really had any of that stuff, but to shore that up. Done. It's all there. but they don't have magical items. That's not what they do here.
All right, let's go talk to the other faction.
You can. The next step is to bring the various factions on board. They need to meet with the different factions representatives, emphasizing the importance of getting, the main thing is really working in Zentarum to grant access to the city of Manteldareth, so that from there you have a base to where to work to find Graven Hollow, which is going to be difficult in its own right to find. So, to begin the discussions.
Okay. Which faction do you want to start with?
I'm going through them right now. Soften up. I'm just trying to see representative. Well, y'all can pick. Well, you know, Durlis has this deal. Yeah, that's up to y'all. Kind of tell me, who do you want to, I can go over who they are again if that's what you want to know. The different groups. What they basically believe in, because y'all would know that. Because that's fairly known throughout the land, the different groups. Even though I don't use them much, but they've been very prevalent for most of the modules, and definitely for Adventure League. You have to join one of them, I think. Yeah, Cyber, I'm sorry, I wasn't saying this battle. It's Bruno. Yes, it is Bruno Battlehammer that they're dealing with. So, y'all let me know. Who would you like to discuss with first? Anyone?
Are we all going together, or are we going to separate and go to groups that are more... Well,
Dirtless has already got an in with his faction.
That's right. And Banjo will know from your backing a little bit more on the roguish side. You know, maybe you have a comfort level with his Zentarum. I don't know. That's for you to decide. But you definitely have got a better knowledge than the rest of the group do. I'm not saying that, okay, that's wrong to say. I'm just saying there's maybe a comfort level more because of who you are over the rest of them.
Well, I'm a famous gladiator, so people have spent a lot of money on me.
Okay.
I'm called Money Banjo Kazooie. Sometimes they call me gold pieces. I don't know. It depends on the night. I'm just a slave. I fight for people. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll await y'all's the decision how to approach these groups and what you'd want to say to them. But if you want background on who they are, I can tell you more a little bit about them and who the person is you're meeting with.
Yeah. Could you tell me who would be the most martial faction to meet with? Because those are the people I'll probably have the most in common with.
As far as you want to talk
like
about,
who might I have something in common with where I can make?
So you've either got the Order of the Gauntlet or the Lords of. It's probably the Gauntlet.
Order of the Gauntlet. They sound pretty badass.
Yeah, they are the dedicated, tightly knit group of holy-minded crusaders driven by a finely honed sense of justice and honor.
That's not
me at all.
That's more Hondo speed than yours.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the Order of the Gauntlet.
Who can you give me who has moral ambiguity and loose,
Okay, let me give you the other one. So the Harpers, like I said, they are a clandestine network of spellcasters and spies that pride themselves on being incorruptible defenders of the greater good and champions of the oppressed. And Durlis is over here thinking that he's got them handled. Then, like I said, the Gauntlet is the Holy-Minded Crusaders. The Lord's Alliance is a political and economic coalition of cities spread throughout the north and the Sword Coast. They basically, even though they're separate settlements, they basically are ones are business and making sure the economic flow and trade routes, all that, that's basically what they're in charge of. Then you have the Emerald Enclave. Maybe they are. They usually operate in isolation, relying on their own abilities and instincts to survive. Living deep in the wilderness demands great fortitude and a mastery of certain fighting and survival skills.
I'll take it.
Okay. And then the Zentar, like I said, the Zarn is the shadowy black network. So the Enclave, this Emerald Enclave, is a shield dwarf by the name of Marista Malkin. And she is the only representative that is there, for the Emerald Enclave. And you can meet with her, and she will let you know that she heard the Bruno's call to reclaim glory of the ancient line of the Delzone who founded Gauntlet Grim, and she, you kind of know she's a little stern and stubborn as you chat with her. But she believes it's her duty to protect everyone here in Gauntlet Grim, and also from the savage nature of the Underdark. She's an advisor to the king. And what do you want to know, or ask her?
I'll take the Emerald Enclave.
Okay, but I'm saying, what do you want to tell her? What do you want to, I'm saying, you've
okay, so I want to go up to her, and is it just her, or does she have like an attendant?
She is here on her own. She spends, you'll notice that you're spending a little time here in Gauntlet Grim trying to figure this all out. And you will notice that she spends a lot of her time training elite scouts that will reconnoiter there are other Underdark passages. You will be finding, she will tell you though that, that they have got entranceways underneath the city back into the Underdark. They're well defended and guarded, but they are freely able to, with what's going on, that all of you will find out from the groups, especially, and Eldith would tell Hondo that, there are entrances down below, because they have to watch them constantly to fend off raids from other Drow and other beasts and creatures that come up from the Underdark. So, but she will tell you that, that's what she does, and, she will actually ask you, did you ever run into a dwarf by the name of Slatus Vader? Did you ever see anyone of that name? Okay, so
I don't believe so.
There was a wood elf of her underneath her command that disappeared on a mission not too long ago. And, if you happen to stumble upon him and see him safely home, she, if you're willing to look for him while you're doing that, she will definitely pledge a team of 3 shield scouts, along with a giant lizard mount for each of them and for each of the characters to use as mounts. If you
we bought mounts for nothing?
Do I now? Well, the
horses won't follow us under the underground.
Yeah, exactly. But she has the ability. She can give 3 shield dwarf scouts, and she has a stable of giant lizard mounts that she will be able to...
So you have connections all over Faerun from your organization, right?
Her group does. Oh, they all do. Yes.
Okay. So she's already been briefed on Brunner's plan, right?
Somewhat.
Okay, so I'm going to go into detail. I'm going to tell her that the 5 of us have just recently come back from the Underdark, and we've seen...
They know that.
Okay.
Okay, yes. She doesn't know that Bruno sent you to go talk with them, though. She has no idea about that.
So I'm going to tell her, like, look, we understand that this is a problem that cannot be ignored, and because of that, we're going back into the Underdark and we're gonna see this problem resolved, or it's gonna kill us.
Okay.
I appreciate your contribution of your Shield Scouts. Those individuals will come in extremely handy, and I'll do everything I can to make sure that they are successful in their mission. But I know from your organization, the members of your organization are extremely capable and self-reliant, so I'm sure they won't need much looking after.
She will gladly dispatch them to the group when y'all are ready to leave.
Okay. And then I want to kind of probe her about what else has been going on in Faerun with her spy network, if she's willing to divulge some information that I will only share with my immediate group.
She unfortunately, unless you are a true member of the faction, that information would not be divulged. She will let you know that business as usual has been going on, that this has been a surprise. To most people would not believe that, what has been happening is truly going on. Enclave has definitely felt, that with their uniqueness bond with the land and all that, this is not a surprise and is now maybe confirming some of what they're hearing. But, you remember that they are kind of, they don't really feel comfortable inside the big cities and all that. They're basically out and about, work on their own. She's here on the upper levels because of what she's training and what she's doing, because this is the Gauntlet Grim has basically been reestablished and all that. But, and definitely you can confirm what she's saying, because she's the only representative here that you have seen, or she's introduced you to, that's when you're meeting and all that. And so, they keep to themselves. Actually, you're with, the orders. You were dealing with, you were dealing with Enclave. Yeah. They, definitely, spend more time in the wilderness than they do anywhere else.
What are the prerequisites for joining her organization?
They basically would study you, understand who you are. It would take time. The factions are not, you have to be invited to join them. They are not something you sign up for. Some are secret, some aren't, you happen to be told by Brunor that some of these individuals are here, so they've been pointed out to you, but they don't go around. Some of them carry banners, others, like the Zentarum, you wouldn't know who they were unless you were part of the network. And the same thing with the Enclave, that they keep to themselves a bit degree, so they don't make it a point to, trumpet who they are and what they do. But, if you're worthy and, meets the standards over time and all that, and before our elders, then maybe you will, be lucky enough to be invited to join.
Okay, that works for me.
But you have she has pledged and they're already in the combat tracker. And can
I try to maneuver for maybe one additional?
So
that way, if we need to send scouting groups out, we can send 2 in each group instead of having 2 in one, or 3 in one. Should always have a battle buddy.
That's pretty smart.
She doesn't have anybody right now. I'm just looking at what she got. Yeah, they have 3 designated to the group. Can't say that I'll look through it all and see what else we have here, because it's not an unreasonable request. But at this point in time, it is said that she's got 3 that are trained enough to be able to handle their own down with the mission.
Okay.
They carry war picks, heavy crossbows. You will know that they have multi-attack. They are dwarves, and they are definitely very perceptive and very stealthy. And so are their lizards, I guess. Lizards have spider climb. And
we all get a lizard?
You all get a lizard.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a representative here from the Uthgard tribes?
From the what?
The Uthgard tribes?
No, none of the barbarian tribes are here. They don't have the resources to commit to something like that, I would think. Or would they?
Yeah, I'm going to make a point to talk to Brunner about sending an emissary to the Uthgard tribes and letting them know that we're heading into a savage battle, and those who are willing to put their lives on the line and test themselves will have an opportunity to do so in the Underdark.
Isn't that your background? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Or you're just, I couldn't remember if that was who you were or not. Was it?
No, that's that's my whole thing. That's why I'm an Outlander, because I left my tribe or my city to test myself.
I remember you said something about it. I couldn't remember the details on it. So.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you have some resources from the Enclave at your disposal. Who's next?
Go see the Harpers.
Okay. You will meet with a male human wizard by the name of Lord Zalron Roaring Horn.
Roaring Horn.
Mm-hmm. Very proud, self-assured, but you can see he's a little fickle in his personality.
Here, I'll go, as we're speaking alone, I'm with him. I'm like, as with all Harpers, I'm trained to act alone, but, in some situations we need others' help. And then I'll go on to explain to him that the biggest, not obstacle, but biggest thing I see, the biggest bad guy is the magic, how it's influencing the magic waves, and that needs to be dealt with.
Well, you'll meet. He listens to that and he goes, "That's all well and good, but I'm need of thirst and food. Great gnome, let's have a bite to eat and discuss this more." And he has if you meet with him, and he will take you to some little establishment, a little side cafe in Gauntlet Grim, y'all have this discussion over with you, and you will notice when you met with him that he has this amulet around his neck. If you will make me an Arcana check, please. You will notice that you believe that you see that it is a Shield Guardian control amulet. Do you know what those are?
I'm guessing it's a amulet that controls a Shield Guardian.
No. Do you know what a Shield Guardian is, though?
Kind of like a rock gnome.
No, it's a metal construct that basically is pretty badass. And he notices that you are looking at it, and he has a smirk on his face, and he then begins to tell you that and he kind of rubs it, and he goes, "I see that you understand what this is. So maybe we should have a game of chess, Great Gnome. If you believe that you can beat me at this game, then I will give you this amulet at your disposal to use." And with the shield amulet, that once you attune to the amulet, that this creature, this construct, is under your control. It has the ability to store a spell in it, and he will tell you that in the moment that Lightning Bolt is stored within the Shield Guardian, and also that as long as you keep the Shield Guardian next to you and all that, that when you take damage, you can transfer half the damage of yourself to the Shield Guardian. and it is considered a kind of a tank type construct.
And I will say okay.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and cheat.
Yeah. So you will. It's a chess match that you take. It takes about an hour to play, and you will need to make me. Y'all are having this discussion, and it's basically you're relaying what has happened, and he pries you some about your skills and some of the magic things, and he's disappointed that with all the travels and all that he would think that you would have run into and see more magic, it's a shame that you didn't find more and the great discoveries, thinking about all that time, that it's a shame that the demons distract from being able to be down there and finding good stuff. Now, where is his, we need a intelligence check from you, but don't roll it yet because I need to know where the hell is his stat sheet. And it is, are the Browns going to win? Holy moly, they are. 21-17. Oh my. Out of the Abyss NPCs, and we're looking for Lord Zelron. Oh my god, why don't they have his stat sheet? How the hell am I supposed to roll an intelligence check on him if I don't have a stat sheet on him? Oh, Jesus Christ. Really? Okay. I don't. Zelron experience gives him some type of modifier to his. Okay, so roll me a. So y'all are going to play a game of chess. If you will roll me an intelligence check in the tower, please.
Yeah.
Oh,
intelligence check in the chat.
Yeah, all that free beer now gets dispersed in Cleveland, right? Y'all know about that? All these.
No.
Yeah, all these vending machines throughout the city have got beer just loaded in them, and they're electronically locked. And as soon as the Browns won, the locks were supposed to deactivate, and it's being given out for free.
That's awesome.
And so they just beat the Jets. I'll be damned. Good for them. Get that monkey off their back. It's like, okay, so, oh boy. Okay, so so the game takes off, and he basically, in the beginning here, he has got the upper hand on you, and he, looks at you and he goes, by the looks of it, good sir, maybe you don't possess the skills to beat me at chess. You may withdraw if you might, or we can continue the game on. Do you want to continue?
As far as I know, there's nothing bad about continuing, so I'm going to continue.
Okay, so roll me another intelligence check in the tower, please. Let's just say you may have my dice rolls tonight, Dirt. He basically has now. I'm sorry, Neon. I was checking stuff at. We will be back Saturday, or actually tomorrow night, doing a special game. I'll post it up on Discord and stuff here. Sorry, I wasn't seeing your text in the chat here, but we'll be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, for another special session with people. We normally spend on work on Saturday nights, but we're off this week. So, but I do appreciate you coming onto the channel. A little quiet tonight. Several other mods are playing in some other games on some other channels right now. All right, so he basically, the chessboard has definitely taken a turn for the worse on you, Dirtless, and he, looks over at you and he says, "I don't believe that the game is winnable by you. You might want to take the withdrawal, or you can we can finish the game up here. Shouldn't take too long for me to beat you.
I'm never gonna quit, and you'll see it in the end.
Roll me another. Okay.
He's playing the dirty gambit.
That's right.
Remember, I'm trying to cheat. Give me advantage.
Well, you can now. So, well, I mean, yeah. So, unfortunately, you're meeting by yourself with him because I think you said that the group didn't know you were a harper, right? Anybody else does? Yeah. So, this would be because
we're secret.
Yeah. He what was it? We had an advantage from Cyber. Oh, look at that. There we go. That's what we're looking for. A little bit slower tonight for everybody. So you can re-roll that again. You're going to want to. Dirt. You've got the DM dice rolls tonight. I'm just going to let you know. So far, your rolls.
2.
That's fine. I'll take the highest of the 2. 16, 13. What did he roll? Okay. Yeah. And so even with those lovely rolls, the Lord will beat you, and he basically within a couple more moves without you noticing, checking it out, he had your king cornered and basically was able to checkmate it. And that, and he goes, "Oh, yes, it's very rare that I lose, great sir, so do not be disenchanted with me with losing the game, and for playing a very well mannered game and holding your own and not succumbing to my quirks and taunts for you, I will loan you the guardian in this amulet as long as you vow to give me for another game when you come back, because not many would last as long as you did, and I value those who can stand their own with me in a good game of chess, and you have proven yourself to be a worthy opponent. So for that, you may have the Shield Guardian and the amulet to control it."
And I tell him, of course, we'll have another game as soon as I get back.
Okay, so the Shield Guardian, here's what you're going to kind of see what the Shield Guardian does. I will, before next game, because I did Monday night's group has got a Shield Guardian. They destroyed a wizard in battle and got it from him. And I made it an NPC so that you, just like we did with Wobble, okay? So you'll have a Shield Guardian now with all this stuff coded, and you can then use him.
Cool.
It's pretty much a wizard's tank. All right. So just keep that. I'll keep that open for you a little bit, but if you want to look at it later, you can kind of see what he can do. And he'll have 142 hit points. And
nice.
He is
with my max of 50.
There you go. And you can, like I said, when you're bound to him, as long as you keep him within 60 feet, half the damage you take is transferred to the Guardian. And then it has the ability to regenerate as when you're in combat and all that. So this is pretty formidable. I'm gonna let you know. So you've got yourself a Shield Guardian. All right, which one of you vagabonds is next? We have the Zentarm, the Lord's Alliance, and the Order of the Gauntlet.
I'll go talk to the Order of the Gauntlet.
Okay. Hondo is going to meet with a human fighter, Sir Laniver Strail, who he is a veteran, and he is I've heard a little bit that he is a very patient but determined human with a side of wit, a sarcasm, not unlike the DM that you play with. And he will you notice that he is very well respected here, and that the upper dwarves, the those who run the city and all that, look favorably upon him. He's not surprised a lot, and he is very supportive of the mission and wants it to succeed, but a party of mostly neutral or evil characters will need to work to gain his support. Y'all are, but he is a little bit, Can't hear Duff. You can't hear me 20 sides? Really? Is it that bad? Let me check my volume. Or how's that sound? I'll put my mouth in front of I probably was not talking in front of the microphone. Oh, okay. Never mind. Let's see. I'm not paying attention. Sorry, man. And good to see you. We're doing a little RP, trying to get the middle part of Out of the Abyss back done so they can get back down to the nitty gritties of the story. But yes, he he wants us to succeed, but he needs to know more about who y'all are and, what you truly believe that you'll be able to accomplish. Are you truly committed to this venture of vanquishing the evil and the demonic possessions of the Underdark?
Tell them all the people.
Yeah, so I'll speak with him, and then I'll tell him the tale of the who was that Mushroom King that we
Zitmotney, Zitmoy, yeah, yep.
The one where we had to fight all the oozes to get to him.
That's the other one. Here, I'll look it up while you're talking to him. Hold on. 5e ooze god is Jubilex.
Yeah, so we fought his lieutenant or something. The one that was in the throne room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell him that tale about how we marshaled the city, and
Keep going.
It'd be a one-way trip, but we thought it was worth it. So we were willing to sacrifice ourselves in order to take him off the board, and our faith won out, and we won. And
a noble tale. And he's definitely, the demon lords embody the kinds of evil that the gauntlet is sworn to destroy, and they will help with any situation and opportunity that would deal a mighty blow to the forces of the abyss. And their pledge, have always, and what you're hearing is they want the demon lords to be sent back to the howling pits from which they rose. And by doing so, and this same thing with you, Ruckus, I never got to add in, when you're asking about, the factions and all that, they will let you know by proving and accomplishing this that your abilities to be a part of the faction or join the faction will probably be justified, and that a revisit back with the factions after the mission is over with, that they will determine, and you probably will be offered an opportunity to become part of the group. All right. Same thing with you, Hondo. Same thing. And well, Dirtless already is a member of the Harpers. So, you proving this type of deal, then your bravery and valor will be rewarded by being a part and having the abilities to enjoy the perks that come along with being a part of this faction. And he goes with, listening to the tale, and he's impressed with what you have to say. And he will pledge 5 human veterans that will be able to join the group. And for your tale, he will give you a +1 Warhammer, one of a handful of treasures held in trust by the Order. And he will graciously give this to you, Hondo. You chose properly. The group.
Yeah.
Yep. You have it, and I'll put it over here in a second here. I've got the stat sheet for it. But he has 5 personalized veterans. God help me, I've got to put these all in the damn... This is going to just totally... The combat tracker is just going to be bonkers now.
What would be cool is if you let the person who got the follower to control the people. if we ever get to a situation.
We could do that. We could do that. That's fine. You're talking, yeah. So you have access on the lizards and the riders and all that. You mean?
Yeah.
We could
I can have it buck off. Like I can have the lizards buck off first if I want it.
I have no problem with that. So
I'm just
what we'll
kidding.
need to do is I'll have to go in and I'll put like maybe next to the characters' names in parentheses who they were a part of. So you know, because if you look at the combat tracker now, this is just a cacophony of, of individual names and all there, So you thought it was bad with the group we had coming out. Look at this. Okay, and let's see. The treasure, a +1 Warhammer.
So I will express my gratitude to him in character.
Yep. And
out of character, I have a +2 Warhammer. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this +1 Warhammer.
See if you can trade it for something else, like a +1 shield or something.
Maybe they can melt it down and turn it into a breastplate of +1.
No, they're not going to melt it down. It's a special gift.
So Duff, I don't know if you want to use your discretion here to change that Warhammer into a +1 shield. But
we could.
Okay,
Yeah,
if you're willing to do that.
This says offers to the member of the party a +1 Warhammer, one of a handful of treasures held in trust by the order. Now, it doesn't tell me anything else about what they have, but can we sit there and make that a +1 shield? Shit, yeah. I got no problem with that.
Okay, I would like to do that if it's possible.
Yep, so let me remove the deal. And so you've got a shield that's down here. So how about we go in and I think that we change its AC to 3. I'm just going to add, actually, I'm just going to boot shield +1. And so what we do there is your AC now, it's got the shield too, but you're going to get I'm going to add a 1 to the miscellaneous on your armor there. Okay.
Perfect.
There you go. You are now at 19.
Beautiful.
All right. And he has given that to you. Boom. Order the Gauntlet is taken care of.
Very appreciative of it. And the men. And we'll try to bring them back.
If they die in combat in such a mission like this, then it will not be in vain, good dwarf. But I appreciate the safety that you will look upon them. So we have 2 left. Zentarm and the Lord's Alliance. Varus, are you there still with us?
I'm still here. What up?
I believe the Lord's Alliance is going to be your forte.
What?
You've only got 2 factions left, and unless Banjo doesn't want to take on the Zentarum, which I figured he was going to do because of his background, so everyone looks at you and goes, go handle the economic situations of the Sword Coast. They trust you.
Yeah, we do.
You say so?
Yep.
Awesome.
And you meet with a half-elf noble by the name of Lord Erevin Hond, who you find out is very charming. And he's worldly, man. And he has a little bit of sly. He, dry slyness that, he's not someone that is easily fooled. And you're chatting with him that they have noted over time that many of the Underdark sites, and these are those establishments that you're going to confirm this with what you have seen with the cities, that many of them have gone dark or quiet with their trade. That the routine forays and the stuff that, definitely, from what you understand happened with Gracklestug and, though there was some trade going in and out, but most of it stayed in the Underdark, but you weren't seeing a lot of stuff coming from the overworld, from up above. Okay. And now you're understanding why, and that is because what's been happening. And now they understand. We're trying to concern what was happening because that's very rare. Even though they don't like what the Underdark is, there's still economic trade is always good in the Lord Alliance's eyes. And that they've also noticed that, there's been less and less raids that have been taking place. And he will tell you that rumors had reached the alliance of some demon-worshipping cults and chaos around these great cities, but they've had a little confirmation until now. And knowing that the possibility that the demon lords are becoming more active, this is a threat that the alliance can't ignore. And he wants to know what you think you'll be able to accomplish in the name of the Lord's Alliance while you are down there. What are your feelings on it?
Don't worry about it. I will talk to the demon lords. I will talk to the demon cults also. Don't worry. They'll come to see it our way.
Is that what you want to say to him?
Oh yes.
Oh my God. Does anybody want to assist him before this goes south?
I think we're all gonna assist him.
Yeah.
I haven't said it wrong yet.
He needs more convincing that you are not just trying to pull his leg. He considers this very serious, great druid, and understands that maybe the true implications of less trade and economic prosperity is maybe, not understood by your kind, but, the Lord Alliance needs to know that those types of concerns will be addressed, and that you will be on the lookout and, and be ever mindful that it is proper that in these great cities down there that they reinitiate and put together, resources to establish trades to the lands above.
I'm telling you, I will handle it. I will get you a free trade route without any problems from the demons. You see, you get great business now.
We will intercede and say something like, we are working on the trade routes. Once the demons are gone, the trade routes will open back up.
Since the city... Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
hold on. Yeah. Hey, so he's,
we're gonna get a great deal with the demons. Don't worry.
He goes, I unfortunately have not had much exposure to your kind, Furbolg, and knowing that you're a druid and all that, how good are you at disguising yourself and being able to, hide from those who are, how good are you at, being secretive and changing your form,
He hasn't heard the master of disguise.
I'm going to turn myself into a demon now.
Now, you can't do that.
I think I can.
You can turn yourself into a beast, not a demon. Right? You have yes, you have, well, hold on, let me make sure I'm wild shape. Yeah, wild shape has to be a beast.
Can he turn himself into a tiefling?
No, it's only a creature. Yeah, he could try, but he tries to do all that, and then again, his leg doesn't turn. He's sitting disguised self. But yeah, that's not that. Okay, yeah, that means you're not turning into a demon. You're turning into, you just basically look like another version of something else. You can change. Yeah, so basic arrangement of who you are. So turning yourself into a demon is not the possibility there, Vars. Love you, buddy, but you have to be a little bit more cognizant of what you're doing there. No, there's a dream. So he's concerned about what the Furbolg is doing, but he knows that the Lord's Alliance, that if the rest of the group is speaking with the other factions, that he, will definitely need to contribute to this venture. But he puts it to you, Vars, with no uncertain terms, something that the rest of the groups do not know. And he will let you know that they have a deep cover operative in the Underdark by the name of Khaleesi Draga. She is a high elf from Silvery Moon that was sent to spy on the Drow over a year ago. And she has, and the reason he asked you that is because she has a great deal of magic that is able to disguise herself from a high elf to a dark elf. And that if you encounter any drow, that you are to confirm that it is not her before you release the drow from this worldly life that they have, because she might have information that is pertinent to what is going on down there with the amount of time that she has spent in the Underdark. And it will behoove you to try to, to find her if you have the opportunity, or to confirm with her. He will give you a password. He will whisper into your ear, and you see Dro, you are to use that, and she will, if you can say it, and she should be able to recognize it, she will give you a response back. And that way you will know it was her. And he only tells that to you. All right? And by doing that, he will then commit to giving 5 dwarf guards that will venture with the group. All right.
Hey, Barris, you want to trade your 5 for my 5?
Is he still disconnected?
He's here.
Okay.
So he's got his people. All right. And last but not least for the night.
Did I get to disguise myself as a demon because I got disconnected?
Yeah, you got disconnected, and that was your success. You got disconnected from reality. So he pledges those, and
I have 5 dwarves that I can do whatever I want with them, right?
Oh, God help us. Yeah, they will be under your command.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Okay. Last but not least, Banjo. You will meet in a darkened corner deep in the city with a human that you know is a skilled assassin by the name of Darvra Jashur. And she looks quite deadly, but she is graceful in her movement. And you see a driven, focused mentality to her with a bit of ruthlessness splashed in there. And she has, been here for a while dealing with internal problems of getting the city, up and running. But, the Zentarum, for what you know, they have a particular secret plan of what they have in store for the control of Faerun, but very few know it, but everybody just assumes. And even, she knows that you've been sent by Brunor to discuss with her about what they have, understanding of the intelligence gathering resources and stuff that they have established in the Underdark, and that access to this stronghold of Mantle Dareth, that it would behoove, they understand that, you want access to it, but why should they give it to this group that they can, maybe they're better off doing stuff on their own?
Because I've made the Zentarum so much gold and platinum. They've made so many bets on me. Oh, they loved me down in Waterdeep. I'm famous with those guys. And we're a reliable group. These guys, I've never seen fighters like these people that I travel with.
She, that's all well and good, if I don't, but knowing that what is happening here are, we don't give away all our resources for free. We expect some compensation for this adventure. And so she will look at you, and the deal will be sealed upon your agreement that any treasure that you personally claim, she wants a full share of it. And she wants to know any and all other information that is given to Brunor from any of the other groups, she will want to know what it is too. If you're willing to give that information and forego some of the loot that you may be able to incur in the Underdark, she will commit 8 human thugs to the cause.
8 thugs?
Thugs.
I guess. I don't really like this, though.
What is there to like? There's but to do.
I will do my best.
Be your best, not do. What is it? What did he say? Don't be, not do, but be. I forget what it was. Something like that, wasn't it?
I am the best.
Then hopefully you will return.
Are you talking about Yoda?
Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember what he said. Yeah.
There is no try.
Yeah,
Only
do or do
That's
not.
right. Yeah, but I thought there was something about best or something too. There's some. I'm sure we can figure one out. All right. Well, she will expect all information that is discovered to be relayed back to her back here at Gauntlet Grim once you come back up from the expedition. She will want to know it immediately.
All right, as soon as I get back with the group, I'm going to say, all right, I'm not going to claim ownership to any magic items from here. I will just borrow from one of you fellows.
Do or do not. There is no try. Yes, right.
Yeah, you got Dawnbringer, man. You're set. And then anything else the party owns, and we'll loan out to whoever needs it.
But here's some 8 thugs. I don't know if they're better than guards, but here they are.
Yeah, what's the hierarchy? Shield Scouts, veterans, dwarf
So
shards.
stone golem is like at the top.
That's
Can we not level them up, but like can we
They don't get leveled up.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is like can we train them in like tactics and fighting and kind of our downtime and maybe turn them from thugs into guards and
Not in
from
the time
guards
that,
into
not
social?
in the time that you need to get done with this. Yeah. You don't have. You're talking months of training. Yeah. To do all that.
Yeah, well if
And they
our
believe that they are
previous
quite-
adventures have been any indication.
Yeah, at the time, yeah. But that was a dream, I thought, So you don't know. Maybe this is a dream and time is relative. That is it. You have guiding resources. A nice group of individuals that you have at your command. And Brunor will, we'll use this force to scout and soften up opposition in Underdark, while looking for valuable strategic information, or, unless, other things happen, we will now proceed. He will begin to send out, to the greater kingdoms of the dwarves, the elves, and begin to rally the surface world to organize a stronger response in case it does not all go well with your mission. And outside of that a successful mission that you will be part, that their faction, membership is imminent, but also that the representatives that are here, those that you have control of, if they become, not impressed with what you are doing and all that, they could very well pack it up and leave. That you are now entrusted with leading them in the proper cause. You have a
So we're now the face of the faction.
Yes, you are. You are now the face. Yeah, each one of you represents, and they are committed to your word, and your commands. but they're not, I'm just, you figure out how you're going to use them. But if there is a issue, if it's not something that they would care for and all that, they could very well end up leaving. All right. Then you will meet with King Brunor one final gathering, and he gives this thanks for your commitment, and he basically gives you a big spiel here that I don't want to go into, but he tells you that we will prepare, and hopefully, that we will await any word from you, and we will see how well it goes. And he will give you a few days to get yourself together and anything else that you want to worry about. And then it will let you prepare, and you can move on to out. He will give abilities to head on out to a lower tunnel. Oh, I didn't give you the damn. Here, let me hit enter. Boom. He will give you ability. He will show you and have some guards guide you out through the underbelly of Gauntlet Grim that will put you in back into the Underdark.
Back into the Underdark.
Mm-hmm. All right. Wasn't that fun? Now, so we're going to hold here unless y'all guys, any other questions or something else you want to do, or if you want to discuss it or bring something else to me. Barsh, you're good? If he hadn't already disconnected.
I'm good. I have my 5 dwarf and slaves, so I'm good.
I'll go back through and label those in the names of each individual. Oh, y'all can't see all their names. Oh, I apologize. Y'all didn't see them in the combat tracker yet because I've got them labeled wrong. Boom, 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 boom. Here you go. Y'all will see them now, but I will put in parentheses next to each one of them who they are following.
Sounds good.
I guess I'm a gangster now. I got a bunch of thugs.
You got thugs. You got thugs. Okay, gentlemen.
OG Banjo.
Mm-hmm. Nicely done. Got through that bit of RPing out, which is rare with this one. There's been interesting, this module.
We haven't left yet, have we? There was still some stuff.
Yeah, you basically have a day or two, then he will show you straight down, but I'm assuming, unless, differently, that when we pick up, that you will have made your way down back into the Underdark, and you have begun your journey.
So just in the effort of getting next week's session rolling without
you need to
having to do a bunch of downtime. I know. Right? I just haven't had a chance to do anything really. I want to because the city's not at full capacity. I want to see if maybe they have some kind of business front or a space available for rental to form a shipping company here.
Bed, everybody.
All right. See you, Dirt.
Good night. I'll talk to everybody later. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Take care, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
You got it. Yeah, put it in chat for me, because what they were saying is they ship stuff out to vendors, but it's not as someone that's here. I mean, as far as setting up a connection, or maybe you have a representative here that works to.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do.
Yeah, something like that. But there's not actually like a shop that you would set up, because they all basically work in their stuff to ship it out to other areas. So, or even just the raw ore itself, not just the items that they make, but it sounds like more of what they that plus the ore itself they could ship out if you're wanting that. So you could put that in Discord to me, and we can come up with what that backstory would be, how that's set up.
Sounds good.
The Forge. All right, guys and folks, thanks for watching. We're going to be done for the night in that session of Gauntlet Grim, and we never got the marriage. We'll have to figure it out later. So
ain't no time for that. There's a war to be fought.
That's right.
Exactly.
Eldith will wait for her lover to come back to her. So
I feel like I'm gonna have bad news when this is over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, he died in the Underdark.
Yeah.
Well, she's gonna put a beacon.
Don't ever go to Waterdeep though.
and she will. She's got a tracker on him. She put a magical tracker on him, right? So she's going to speak with Praetor and turn one of those gems into a tracker. So, all right, we're teasing. You guys be good. Enjoy the rest of your week and the weekend. And unless something changes, we'll be back next Thursday night. All right?
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks for watching,
all.
folks. We're done. We'll see you tomorrow night for episode 2 of the Betrayal in Daedalus, which is a new module that we're writing for the Blackmore group. And I'm going to be running the test game of it tomorrow night with most of the original players from episode 1 that we did at CobbleCon. So we will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central. Until then,
Look forward to it. That's
see
cool.
y'all later. All right, take care.
Yeah.